the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
My test. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WESG Malaysia Dota2 Qualifier, and we are now ready for the grand finals, and we'll be streaming the first semi-final between DotaHero and also Fire Dragoon. Alright. So before the match start, we'll have some short interview with the both team captains. So can I please welcome the both team captains? Right. Woo. Right. So, alright, we have Ajit from Fire Dragoon and also Zil from DotaHero. So we start with DotaHero first. So Zil, basically you are one step away from flying to APAC. So how confident are you to this towards this match?
50-50. 50-50.
Oh, 50-50 means 50% what and 50% what? Win or lose, right? Alright. So for Ajit, how confident are you on beating DotaHeroes?
70 at least.
At least 70, alright? That's quite a lot of confidence as well, alright? So let's handshake first, then we'll proceed to our first best of 3 of today's match between Fire Dragon and DotaHero. And I'll pass by Cam to the caster 0.
Welcome back to the WESG Malaysia qualifiers. We are already at the semi-finals. We already have our top 4 teams from Malaysia. We have Fire Dragoon, 818 Esports. This is DotaHero, and last but not least, we have, I can't remember the last team. We have New Beginning as well. So 4 of the best teams in Malaysia already gathered here in Orange Esports Stadium, Setapak, to see who will be the 2 teams to represent Malaysia in the WESG APAC finals. Right now on stage we have a best of 3 series on our hands. Fire Dragoon against DotaHero in this best of 3 single elimination finals, semi-finals. So the winner of this series will secure a spot going towards China in the WESG APAC finals. So a lot of things on the line. There's national pride, there's money, and of course there's that bragging rights of beating one of the best teams in Malaysia on the line right now. And both of these teams are ready to go. We are just waiting for confirmation from all the sides that we are ready to go on to this first game of this best of 3 finals. And it's ready to be one of the best series we've seen all day so far. Fire Dragoon going up against DotaHero in our first game of the playoffs. So Fire Dragoon, we did see them having an absolutely dominant performance in the group stages. Ajit on the Meepo, we saw him in the previous game, was just absolutely dominant, and we hope to see more of their game so far. We didn't see any games from Group B today, so DotaHero, they are coming in quite of an unknown in this stage at least, but they are 2-1 in the group stages, so they have been showing that they have quite a fight in them as well. So first game is beginning very soon. We are going through to the draft phases. Fire Dragoon getting the first pick on the Radiant side. Meanwhile, DotaHero will be on the Dire side with the second pick. There was a slight change of in terms of drafter for DotaHero. I think it was Kang drafting for a while in the previous few weeks, but today it will be Brian drafting for the side of Fire Dragoon. Meanwhile, on the side of DotaHero, we have Ziu drafting on their side. So Fire Dragoon first phase ban will ban out the Clockwork, the vision provider, the position 4 support, one of the more popular position 4 supports in this current meta. He's very annoying to deal with. The battery assault just deals so much damage, can solo kill any of the enemy solo supports as well, position 4 or 5, with only a few exceptions to the tankier heroes like the Ogre Magi, the Undying. Those 2 heroes do not really care about the Undying, but anything else like the Ruvik, the Shadow Demon, these heroes, once they meet this Clockwork in the lanes, he's dead for sure. And DotaHero banning out the Kunkka as well as the Phantom Lancer. We do see Ajit play the Phantom Lancer in the mid lane quite a bit sometimes for the side of Fire Dragoon, but not gonna be the case this time. The Omni Knight still left in the pool for both sides to pick up. So is the Brewmaster, the Beastmaster. Both of these heroes still left uncontested in the pool so far. Next Assassin will be the ban for the side of Fire Dragoon. Typically we see the next Assassin ban if they are going for something like a Medusa. Medusa is one of the most popular picks of the current meta, so that is still left in the pool for them, for both sides to pick up. So we might see it picked up on either Fire Dragoon side if they are planning for it. They do have the first pick, or it will be DotaHero. They might ban it in this phase, seeing that Night Stalker third ban on the side of Fire Dragoon, and they will ban out the Doombringer. So leaving Medusa left open for Fire Dragoon to pick up if they want to, and it does not look like Fire Dragoon wants to first pick it. They go for the tried and true Undying instead. This is typically the hero played by Brian as the position 4 support. We did see a game of it last game on the Undying for Brian. Did a lot better than the side of Sorian Blade's Undying, so they do have that option for the Brewmaster as well as Enchantress pick for DotaHero. So there is a lot of power pushing potential, team fight potential as well. Brewmaster and Enchantress, both of these heroes, recently we do see them towards the off lane, so it's going to be interesting to see which of these 2 heroes go towards the off lane. Or it might be it might be both of them going towards the off lane. The Enchantress can provide support to the Brewmaster, getting a Satyr Tormentor, or even just go towards the jungle as a position for support. And Enchantress, of course, is very squishy. Any hero with any magical burst, Undying does really well against the Enchantress just because of how low the base HP of the Enchantress is. So they might just throw a magical nuke damage hero such as the Puck facing up against the Enchantress. And it will be Fire Dragoon picking the Puck for themselves. We do see it played as the offlane. Kang does play it quite decently as well. Alacrity, nonetheless, we did see it on the Puck as well.
Radiant team
back. You might see the Puck is a very flexible hero. We do see it in all the lanes. It does very well in a one-on-one situation in the mid lane, towards the off lane, or even as a safe lane farmer when your teammates decide to go for an aggressive tri-lane. So Fire Dragoon banning out the Dragon Knight for themselves. Meanwhile, on the side of DotaHero, they ban out the Medusa as well as the Tinker. So both of these heroes more targeted towards Alacrity's ban. We did see Alacrity playing the Medusa in the first game of the day, and his Tinker is one of the best in Southeast Asia as well. So Fire Dragoon will not have that in their back pockets to pick up. Of course, both of these teams they have a very wide hero pool, so there is still a lot of heroes left for them to pick up. They did ban out the Kunkka. We did see them going for an Undying Kunkka dual support from side of Fire Dragoon in the previous game. Looks like DotaHero picking up a Bane, a much forgotten hero after it was slightly nerfed in the 7.07C patch. It is still very strong as a single target disable support, or even as even play as a position 4-5. You can set up kills with the Enchantress. You can lock down heroes for quite a decent amount of time. Just lock down the Undying, lock down the Puck with the Fiend's Grip, with the Nightmare, and the Enfeeble is going to be always this very annoying to deal with. You have Enfeeble to deal with, you have the Drunken Haze to deal with for the Brewmaster if you are some sort of right-clicking support. So DotaHero really focusing on locking down on that enemy safe lane farmer. Chaos Knight has been banned out on the side of Fire Dragoon as well. And they will pick up a Crystal Maiden as their support. So we have an Undying Crystal Maiden support duo. The Crystal Maiden, after the latest patch, she does so well in a huge macro situation where she provides a free Kaya to the entire team. The Puck would love one. Will probably build a Kaya of her own as well. So that is a lot of minus mana cost, a lot of mana regen as well coming from the Crystal Maiden, which is really great for the Undying. Okush can just constantly spam out the decay. The Puck is constantly being able to spam out the skills as well. DotaHero picking up a Gyrocopter for themselves, so they have a lot of teamfight control with the Brewmaster, with the Enchantress and Bane, but I would like them to pick up some sort of AoE crowd control. Something like an Earthshaker, a Magnus would be great, or even something like a Pit Lord, just to keep everyone in place when they try and take these team fights, because right now they have little to no stuns. They have the Bane to lock down a single hero, but that's about it. And Fire Dragoon spots that out, picks up a Weaver for themselves, as most probably their position 1 support. Not the best hero to go up against Enfeeble as well as Drunken Haze from the Brewmaster and Bane, so Weaver will have to look for some positioning on the back lines to not get these debuffs on him, so that he will be deal the damage onto the Bane or onto the squishier heroes.
5 seconds.
Fire Dragoon themselves do not have that much of crowd control as well. They have the Puck to lock down people with the Dream Call. They have the Undying Tombstone, but they lack of a little bit of nuke damage in whole, and probably some hard stuns as well. All they have right now is the Dream Call, short duration stun, and the Frostbite as well. So something towards the off lane that would provide longer duration stun would be great. Heroes like if it's their off lane, probably like a Legion Commander who does really great against Gyrocopter. It could be something towards the mid lane, leaving the Puck towards the off lane, giving something with a lot of stuns. Nothing really comes to mind as a mid lane. Ember Spirit would be great as well. They do not have that much lockdown on the side of DotaHero. The Ember Spirit does have the True Strike potential, does ignore the Enchantress in the hole as well. So DotaHero does have they do have the last pick of the game, so they can go for some form of surprise here. But right now it is on Fire Dragoon. The ball is on Fire Dragoon's part to pick up a hero, and they will pick up Invoker for themselves. So this will be an off-lane puck, leaving the Invoker towards the same lane. This could be an aggressive tri-lane as well. I mean, Weaver, Crystal Maiden, as well as the Undying does really great in an aggressive tri-lane sort of setup, leaving the puck to go solo against the
10
Brewmaster,
seconds
which will be a more of 50-50 trade. And the Brewmaster will benefit in the earlier
5
stages, just
seconds
spamming out the
remaining.
Drunken Haze. But once puck gets a few levels, gets some regen items with the magic stick as well, he will be able to spam out those creep waves, and there's nothing that the Brewmaster is able to do to stop the puck from farming. DotaHero looks like they might want to switch up the lane. If they anticipate some sort of aggressive tri-lane setup coming from Fire Dragoon, they might put the Gyrocopter towards the mid lane. We did see it do very well against the Invoker. As long as he has the available supports, they might leave the Brewmaster solos up on the top lane. They might leave a dual lane on the bottom lane. But it looks like they will stick to their Shrine and True Line up, leaving Zeal onto the Templar Assassin towards the mid lane, and Gyrocopter will be played as the safe lane. So Game 1 of this best of 3 series between Fire Dragoon as well as DotaHero. Winner secures a spot in the WESG APAC finals. So there is a lot of money, a lot of pride on the line, and we have to see which of these two teams will make it through to the final stages. Right now, Fire Dragoon against DotaHero in Game 1 of this best of 3 series in the WESG Malaysia qualifiers happening in Orange Stadium's Tapak. Like the hero picks are pretty standard so far, but we will go into the player introduction very shortly. But right now, let's give it up for both teams. Fire Dragoon going up against DotaHero in the first game of this best of 3 semifinals. On the Radiant side, we have Templar Assassin played by Zeal. This is the DotaHero team.
Battle.
Meanwhile, we have a Gyrocopter played by some Chinese guy with a Chinese name. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it, even though I know how to. We have Brewmaster played by Dot. Bane will be played by Zhao Zilong. And last but not least, we have a Sync playing the Enchantress. Meanwhile, on the side of Fire Dragoon, we have Brian playing the Undying. Puck will be played by Kang. Invoker played by Alacrity. Yang will be playing the Crystal Maiden. Last but not least, the Weaver will be played by Ajit. So it will be interesting to see how these lanes pan out. Whether Fire Dragoon will go for the aggressive tri-lane, or will DotaHero try and avoid that, giving the Brewmaster the one-on-one situation with the puck. Depends on whether they want a more smoother early game for the Brewmaster, or they just want to, give the Gyrocopter the harder lane, but then stack up the Ancients, stack up the neutrals for the Templar Assassin as well as the Gyrocopter to be able to clean up later on to the stages. So, quick pause before we go on to the first game. Let's take a quick look at the early item setup so far. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Some tangos, some talisman all the way.
Thanks.
Pretty standard starting items for both sides, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Templar Assassin was probably going towards the mid lane. Spotted. Okay. Both teams looking to secure the runes. Brewmaster gets a nice scout. Does not spot anyone, so that is a clear indication of where everyone is, which is enough to prepare themselves for the inevitable laning phase that is going to be where one team will be the aggressor and the other team will not. It's going to be a more difficult lane for some teams, for one of the teams, but they can still set up heroes for success. Both teams will secure two runes apiece. And support to try their best to keep the quick waves towards their lane, giving their lane a little bit more giving their lane a little bit more advantage. So it will be the Templar Assassin going towards the mid lane against the Invoker. a lane that we usually see the Templar assassin does have a slight advantage over the Invoker, but just because right now Brian is constantly nuisance in the mid lane, just constantly spamming out the decay. Sync is in the mid lane to provide assistance as well, so it's going to be a 2-on-2 in the mid lane. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Puck will be fighting up against the Bane. The Bane is one of the highest damage in range heroes in the early game, and he's looking right now, he's just harassing the Puck. He does have level 1 in Brain Sap as well. The low mana cost of Brain Sap and the high amount of damage from the Brain Sap means that he's able to trade very efficiently against this Puck, so Puck will have to try his best to try and stand in lane against this Bane Elemental. Meanwhile, mid lane, Templar Assassin is still dealing with two of the heroes for the side of Fire Dragoon. Brian wants to set up Alacrity for success. Just constantly harassing this Templar Assassin. Not going to really pressure the Templar Assassin too much just because of him having these. The refraction means that the right click is going to go through all the way. But most of the aggression most likely will be coming from the Crystal Maiden as well as Enchantress. Bottom lane, but trading low from low against the Bane. Bane dropping quite low. Brian giving chase. But this is the Bane. This is one of the hardest, this is one of the stronger laning supports of the entire game. And right now they find themselves quite low. This cooldown, this low cooldown as well as low mana on the Brain Sap means that he's able to go toe-to-toe, man fight all the way throughout mid lane. Alacrity is in some trouble being chased down by two very annoying neutral there. He gets slowed down. Is there a storm? There is a storm. There's one more rushing, and they will get a first blood on the side of DotaHero. Nice rotation coming in from Sync, securing the first blood on their side. Wow, but only Puck. That was very low. Enchantress. I think to go for it, but quick waves a little bit too far. They're not gonna try and commit for it. Some other prize, no, just walks right past it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Brewmaster fine against this Weaver. Nothing that the Weaver can really do. He's still trading blow for blow, has the magic stick as well, so he'll be able to regen up.
Dire's courier
But
has been
here,
killed.
the courier finally gets sniped up there by Sync. He does have two creeps to try and engage into this. He did lose the Centaur, but they might go for this Undying. There is no Tombstone. Right, dropping very nice body blocks coming from Sync, trying to help him survive. One more right click and they will kill him in the end. Puck dropping very well on the slow. And one more right click. The John just perfectly timed. And Kang will be able to survive through all that, dropping very low on his own. So DotaHero setting the tempo in the early phases of the game, giving the Templar Assassin some much needed space going up against Alacrity, who is a slight level difference behind, but nothing too much that he can't catch out with once he gets his hand on Midas. The side blades are a constant nuisance to this Evoker because you are trying to last hit, but it just constantly spills onto you and it just takes off so much of your regen. But so far things looking pretty even here. Bane already level 3, but with level 2 in Brain Sap, he's able to just trade with this Puck. Nothing that the Puck can really do about it. With the high space attack animation on this Bane, it's so annoying to deal with.
Gotcha!
So Maiden though not getting too much pressure on his side, so she's able to just jungle herself
Illusion.
very safely as well, so not losing that much. Here comes the Enchanters coming from the back line. They are going for the Puck. Will they manage to get him up? No. The John just perfectly timed, level 1 in phase shift, able to stop him from being caught up in the Nightmare, because once you get caught up in the Nightmare and you try and jaunt away, you will get just cancelled there and you will fall for sure. So Kang going for that 1 level in phase shift to be able to secure
Dire's
himself
top
in the
tower
lane.
is under attack.
But speaking of lane, mid lane is going towards the way of Zeal on this Templar Assassin, doing very well for himself. This is of course a best of 3 single elimination bracket, so every game counts. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, they're giving chase towards the Puck, but they might turn things around here. Garakumpa being dealt a lot of damage. He does have the stick charges though, and with the strength stolen, he's gonna regen a lot more HP from his magic stick charge as compared to anything else. Enchantress. Oh, meanwhile, mid lane, it was a gank from the Enchantress against Alacrity. Zeal getting the last hit.
is
and they
under
will
attack.
secure themselves yet another kill 5 minutes in. It is 3-0. Fire Dragoon lagging behind in terms of early game tempo, but that is expected with heroes
Dire's
like the
middle tower
Poker
is under
and
attack.
like the Pug. These heroes need a bit of level before they can do anything. Crystal Maiden does very well against the Enchanters just because he is able to just clear the creeps of the Enchanters very easily with just one Frostbite. So nice little counter draft of some sort coming from the side of Fire Dragoon, but they do still need quite a bit before they are able to come back in this game. They are slightly behind, as you can see, 6 minutes in, but not too far behind that they can't come back for this. They might be some trouble. Here comes Legit. He does have the Nightmare. He does have the Brain Sap to be able to regen back the HP. So the Puck not going to dive in too deep, knowing that he might be in trouble himself if he goes for it. So they does have a decent amount of HP as well. Not gonna be in too much of a trouble as we see the laning phases slowly pan out. Weaver getting absolute free from in the top lane, nothing that the Brewmaster can really do except just constantly spam out the Drunken Haze. He can't really do so much. Even though he gets hazed up, he can last hit. Speaking of last hit bottom lane, they get caught out and hit for he had no level 6 on this Gyrocopter, or he could have just dived for this Undying or level 4, so there might be a possibility of a level 2 Tombstone already leveled up on this Undying. Mid lane, ZU did get a haste for himself, so he should be safe from any sort of gank. But speaking of any sort of gank, Crystal Maiden in the mid lane protecting ZU for the moment. Not gonna dive in too deep under the tower. There is reflection in another second. There is the backup. Don't move ZU dropping quite low. Sunstrike there, missing there as ZU moving just too fast for Alacrity to be able to point that kill. Sync was just a little bit too late to the party, not able to secure the kill onto Alacrity, but there was already 3 heroes towards the mid lane. But Crystal Maiden might be in a heap of trouble. Crystal Maiden caught up between a rock and a hard place, dropping very low. A few more rackets and the issue for Brian dropping the Tombstone up on the high ground. Will they find it on? Yang still alive. Oh, they do lose one hero. Crystal Maiden has already survived, and it will be a double kill from Ajit, getting both of the support, the Enchantress as well as the Bane does fall in the end. 4 hero rotation, actually it's a 5 hero rotation coming inside of Fire Dragoon, trying to counter gank this. They did manage to get 2 kills in the end, but with that they give a little bit of space to this Brewmaster up in the top lane to get some farm of his own. He's already level 6, so he's not too worried of being ganked by this Puck. So far 8 minutes in, a lot more passive games than the games we see in the previous few games up on stage. Still, this is a very high level game between 2 very good teams in Malaysia. And knowing that mid lane ZU trying to go straight for Laffy, nicely placed Ice Wall there. ZU dropping very low, the Sunstrike connects on point as well, and the phase shift, the meld to try and juke out any skills coming from the Crystal Maiden, but he did not have to do that. So
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Managing to survive through all that. He
Dire's
does have
structures are
nice
fortified.
comeback for it if he wants to go for it. And being the Templar Assassin, he should be able to kill it up very properly. Brewmaster diving in very deep, providing some space for his teammate, the Enchantress, to be able to start dealing damage to this tier 1 tower. Just a little bit chip damage on this tier 1
Radiant's middle
tower.
tower is under attack.
But not immediate threat for anytime soon. Weaver already level 8. Bottom lane, there's not much catch potential on him. They need the Nightmare, they need the Fiend's Grip on this Bane before they are able to lock down a Weaver anytime soon. So I'm not going to even try and commit for that. ZU making his way towards Desolator. Not going to be a Blink Dagger build up so far. He might change his mind depending on how the entire laning stages go. But now 10 minutes in so far, Brewmaster is very tanky and he's not giving any care in the world to these 2 heroes, so that they have no kill potential on him. He does have the primal split in case he needs a
Radiant's
quick
middle
escape.
tower is under attack.
Weaver dropping very low, keeping his there to the Gyrocopter. He did use his call down already, so Ajit trying to survive through that. Oh, Nightmare. A few more right clicks, but the Brain Set will not cool down in time. So Ajit will be able to scurry away in safety. Then he does get himself a solo kill on this Gara Cutter, who did not manage to turn things around. And 4-3 so far, Dragoon finally inching ahead in terms of kills. But all things considered, DotaHero is poised to take this game as they are a significant amount of goal ahead so far. Nothing too far to come back from, but it's very strong. Here comes the Dream Core used by the Puck to try and keep these two heroes in place under the tier 1 tower. But with the creeps tanking the tower, they're not going to be too afraid to go. Brewmaster diving straight in for Brian. He does take a man, a Sunstrike on the back line, does not connect on anyone. Brewmaster still very healthy, dropping very low, but does pop the Nature's cannons and he will be able to survive through all that. Primal Split is still ready. Brewmaster giving chase, he wants to stop before he uses the Primal Split. Like really good. He does use Primal Split in the end, going indecisive, goes for the Puck. Crystal Maiden pops it out to try to bring down Sing. Sing dropping very low, he does not have his heal. So he does what you have Brian. I guess himself, the Tombstone will be used, but this Brewmaster might be in a lot of trouble. He might try and get this kill before he dies. He does get it in the end. Brewmaster does have the stick charges. He might go for a return kill, but he uses the Drunken Haze on the wrong hero, and it will be a double kill onto Kang, onto the Brewmaster as well as the Enchantress. So 2-for-1 trade-off. They did get the tier 1 tower as well as the Undying, but overall, it is still a pretty even trade. They are buying a lot of space for this Templar Assassin to farm up. They're buying a lot of space for this Gara Cutter against core items. Templar Assassin slowly but surely making his way towards his next big item. A huge big item to just start nuking down enemy heroes. Meanwhile, Invoker does already his hand of Midas 12 minutes in. So he's going to try and do the Invoker things we see in pub games. Farm up the jungle, push up the lanes on the lone.
Dire's middle tower
trying
is
to
under attack.
avoid joining team fights before he gets anything. But he gets spotted out here. He might be in trouble. He gets caught up by 2 heroes. Gets up the Sunstrike perfectly on point, and it will be Ajit getting the kill. Dominant streak on Ajit, and they spot out the stack as well. Uses
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Smaller stack, uses the Undying Tombstone to try and secure the stack. They might try and contest this. Bane cut out, and he will use the Beast Grip onto the Weaver. Do they have enough damage to bring it down before he uses his time lapse? No, he does not. So he will be able to scurry away. The Beast Grip, the backup coming too late. But oh, the Crystal Maiden did get brought down there by the Gara Cup. The cooldown was not used to secure the kill, but the homing missile as well as the rocket barrage was just able to run down the Crystal Maiden. And with that secure,
top tower is under
protect
attack.
the Ancients, I would say, for the side of DotaHero.
Dire's middle
trying to
tower
make his
is
way
under
to
attack.
his Desolator. Meanwhile, bottom lane Sync might be in some trouble. He did buy a TP, so he should be able to survive before this level 2 in Untouchable. Means that, oh, so much rushing damage coming from the Weaver. He did go for the levels in mana break, so trying to dive deep for this hero. Sunstrike does not connect, but he does connect on the bait. This might be the shockwave from the Tormentor just saves the Weaver. This buys the Weaver some time, and without the Fiend's Grip, they are not able to go for the kill on the Weaver. And Bane just rotated to try and save his teammate
This'll come in
from
handy.
certain death. Top lane being pushed out slightly there by the Templar Assassin, but he's not gonna continue pursuing the matter while giving the space into the Brewmaster, who does have his Hand of Midas already completed. So that's gonna be him skating towards the late game. Hand of Midas is on the Brewmaster. We do see sometimes going for Hand of Midas into the Radiance. Oh, pop, one right click, one more right click trying to survive. Oh, the damage coming from Seal just too huge. And he does complete his Desolator just with that. Nice setup play coming from Seal, anticipating the move coming from the Puck. And Kang does fall in the end. 6-7 so far. The game is still neck and neck for both sides. Net worth and experience, as you can see, still pretty even on both ends. So the next team fight, whether it comes sooner or later, whether this Weaver will be able to come online before anything else, is going to be a huge factor to see who takes this game 1 of these WESG Malaysia qualifiers. Templar Assassin trying to do damage to this mid tier 1 tower, already dropping down to quarter HP. Back lane, here comes the Brewmaster, pops out the pocket, nice Dream and Dream Core, Sunstrike, Vito, so much damage from the Invoker, Bane trying to survive that, Six still caught in the Dream Core, they did manage to bring out Invoker, but it will be a bigger chasing on Ajit, double kill on Unstoppable, he's giving chase, the Vito is last small guys after trying to fight back, he does not have his skill check, he's last small, in the end, a triple kill for Ajit as the Weaver will manage to get himself 3 kills on the board, 4 heroes dead for the side of DotaHero. A huge team fight going through the way of Fire Good. The Dream Core as well as the combo coming from the Invoker just dealing so much damage. And they managed to sweep the floor. They did lose the tier 1 tower towards the mid lane. Was it denied? No, it was not denied, but in the end they get a tier 1 for their own. So Fire Good will be very happy with the entire trade-off. They did pick off the Templar Assassin as well, so huge trade-off going towards the way of Fire Dragon, which is gonna help even things out a bit so far. This Enchantress is just too squishy to stand towards the front line. The Dream Core just caught him out of position and he just got nuked down right after that, not being able to do too much damage in the entirety of the team fight. Puck with the Blink Dagger, huge initiation going there, as well as the Undying Tombstone. Just so much team fight to do with inside of DotaHero. Here comes the Cold Snap as well as the Meteor, not gonna connect. There is no Primal Split. This Brewmaster might be some trouble. Yang is trying to get in position to get a force by in, but Ziyu showing space to the mid lane. And it won't be the Crystal Maiden backing off from this. She is just too squishy. 2 right clicks from the designated Templar Assassin, and that is all she. Oh, Fiend's Grip catching the puck. Is there enough damage to bring him down? He has not enough mana. The mana stolen there by the Bane. Trying to survive. He tries to blink away. He does use the Sori, blink John, and will be able to run away to safety. So huge plays coming there from Puck, almost dying to the Bane. All they need was one more right click or even one more brain sap to be able to secure a kill onto the Bane, but a huge hit on play coming from the Bane to start the entire thing from the trees, buying some time for the Brewmaster to come in and try and bring it down.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pyrocopter does have his Dragon Lance as well as his Quarterstaff, as well as his Phase Boots. Might be going for Mask of Madness, or it might be going straight for Butterfly. You just see the Mask of Madness build up, but depends on how this Pyrocopter wants to build his item builds. Meanwhile, top lane, Templar Assassin his next item as well. Just gonna help him get towards the back line. It's gonna help deal with the squishy heroes like the Invoker, like the Crystal Maiden. Gonna be a huge factor as well. Bottom lane, Master is clearing the creep waves. He has his Hand of Midas for quite some time already, so whatever item he wants to build out for, an Axe Scepter, an Aeon Disc, for the Brewmaster. He is quite tanky. Does he have the Magic Stick? No, he does not, but Puck on her own is not able to duke him down in time, so the Puck is just gonna have to back off here. He's slowed down there by the Enchantress and tries to blink himself away to safety. Top lane, tier 1 tower does fall to Ajit. It will be a 2-hero press up to the top lane. Linken's here already completed on the Weaver, so this Weaver is gonna be a little bit harder to control if you are the Bane. You need your team needs to help cancel out the Linken's before you manage to get the Evo to get the Fiend's Grip off of this Weaver. So Weaver should be pretty safe in the entire team fight. Oh, Templar Assassin might be in some trouble here. But no diffuser on the Weaver means that the Weaver will not be able to chase down this Templar Assassin, and she will be able to walk away to safety. In terms of taking this game late, DotaHero does not have are not running on a timer. They have decent late game heroes with the Gyrocopter, with Midas on this Brewmaster.
Radiant's bottom tower
the
is
Gyro
under
is one of
attack.
the best late game heroes as well, so they have that going for them. Right, Atos goes through. He's gonna fall for sure. Few right clicks will secure themselves to kill onto Brian. they would have loved to get a double damage rune on the side of DotaHero, but beggars can't be choosers. They do lose to Undying, which is only 20 seconds away from respawning, not that long on the respawn timer, so nothing to fear about that. Brewmaster.
How many times are you gonna miss?
There's gonna be a constant nuisance there. The Forge Spirit gonna be stolen there by the Enchanters to buy some time. And I'm gonna sub the Invoker for having that chance to try and speed push as well. So 9 to 11, 20 minutes in. It's quite a passive game. We've seen a few nice team fights, but other than that, it has been pretty quiet. Network as well as experience going neck and neck so far. And,
Radiant's bottom
both
tower
teams have
is under
very
attack.
great late game. The Weaver, the Puck, the Invoker scales so well into the late game. Even the Crystal Maiden, once she gets that level 20 talent with the 250 attack speed, she can be a formidable right clicker as well. Brewmaster did not change any items for nearly 20 minutes now, so it is nearly definitely a Radiance build up for this Brewmaster. He might go for something else like a straight up Axe Scepter. We will see how he decides to spend his money. DotaHero spot someone out. So made a big hit, go straight for the ultimate. Weaver moving down, big elemental. That's yeah, BKB used by the back on trying to fight back. Weaver giving chase. Infibo is already up on the Weaver. He's doing so little damage. He tries to time lapse away. He will manage to time lapse away. And he will try for himself. Zero taking so much damage. BMP does not do anything. Where is that dying? And that is already dead. Puck did manage to bring down the Gyrocopter towards the back line, but now Puck might be in a lot of trouble. H-Mos onto the spot, the right clicks, doing so much damage. He's being chased down. He has no John, he has no way to escape from this. A few right clicks, so one more and he will right get gold. But the Meteor doing so much damage to the Brewmaster, but the Brewmaster just too damn tanky. Sunstrike does not connect, barely misses there. And it will be a 2-for-2 trade-off on this side by Brewmaster. He will fall to Ajit, right place at the right time, and it will be a monster kill streak for Ajit. So 3-for-2 trade-off after all that. 3-for-3. Yang respawns, dies once again. So things are still going pretty even for both sides, but I would say that DotaHero came out slightly ahead just because in the end, they bring down a Puck. They did lose 2 of the cores, but Zio got all the kills on his side. So he will be able to scale towards the late game very well, depending on what item he wants to go for. He did debut his Blink Dagger, which just nuked down the Crystal Maiden. Nothing that the Crystal Maiden will be able to do to survive through all that. Crystal Maiden went for a Blink Dagger, not a Force Staff, not a Glimmer Cape, so she knows that going for this item, how vulnerable you will be against this Temporal Assassin. And what she did was she Frostbite and she just blinked straight into the middle of the team fight and just casted the ultimate to try and do damage, but
is under attack.
and not able to do too much. And then Crystal Maiden does fall twice in a row. So something like a Force Staff, something like a Glimmer Cape would have saved her life. Even a Ghost Scepter would have been great, but right now Crystal Maiden with the Blink Dagger might pay with her life over and over again the next week. Brewmaster does show the Sacred Relic, so this might be a Nullifier, but I doubt it will be a Nullifier. It could be a Radiance, a really good item to pick up. Templar Assassin, dropping very low, Sunshine does not connect. Force Dive on point. You buying some time with his distraction, dropping very low. Like he will fall in the end. Godlike onto Ajit. Force Dive coming through and he will fall. One more right click is all they need. They will get a double kill to Ajit. It might be a triple. No, Alacrity gets the last hit. 3-for-0 trade on. Huge pick off coming from the side of Fire Dragoon as they open up the map, pick up 3 heroes as well as the most farmed hero on the side of DotaHero, and with that, things are looking very well for the side of Fire Dragoon. The map is open. 45 seconds without a team fight spells a lot of maps to the way of Fire Dragoon. While Brewmaster trying to complete his Radiance as soon as possible. This Radiance is going to be really great against the Weaver, against this Puck, but will it be enough in entirety of the team fights as we might get to see here. Roshan, dropping very low here, comes the call down, right, dropping very low. On the defense, the Aegis was stolen by the Gyrocopter, using so much damage. Weaver dropping very low, he's in control for his Weaver. Oh, the EMP, the knockback doesn't do anything. Oh, the Frostbite. Gyrocopter just walks right into the Roach Pit, steals the Aegis, picks up a kill. They pick up the Crystal Maiden as well. Here comes the Meatball trying to bring down the Aegis, barely able to. They did manage to bring down the Aegis in the end, but 2-for-1 trade-off so far. And Fire Dragoon would not be happy with that, just because they spent so long bringing down the Roshan, only to be snatched by a Gyrocopter walking in with a BKB. So a huge team fight coming from DotaHero. Heads up play coming from the Gyrocopter to walk in like that. They did have to expand the BKB. Invoker might be some trouble here, being locked down there by the Ipto. Start up as well, doing so much damage. No detection, no detection right in the front lines. Gyrocopter dropping very low, the Weaver in the back lines, doing so much damage. They bring down the Gyrocopter. Riot has fallen towards the Enchantress coming from the Enchantress.
Sorry.
But the Weaver will have to back off, he's dropping too low. The Brewmaster is very difficult to deal with. The Templar Assassin is back up and alive as well with the Blink Dagger, so they do not want to be caught out in a very bad position. So 1-for-1 trade-off, the support for the Gyrocopter, not the best trade for DotaHero, but it could have been completely worse if they actually stayed up for too long of a team fight. Now things are slowly falling down, no more map objectives on both sides. The tier 2s are still standing for both sides. Tier 1 on the bottom lane still standing for the side of Fire Dragoon. They need to start getting this map, the map open for them. As you can see, the vision is more or less the same on both sides. They see pretty much the same areas, seeing the same amount of map. So things are very even. Of course, these are the 4 best teams in Malaysia have fighting out for a chance to represent the country in the WESG and qualifiers. So we do not expect anything less from this side. As you see, Tornado EMP doesn't connect onto this Brewmaster. He's completely out of mana. He walks back line. Crystal Maiden goes straight for the Templar Assassin. He gets silenced up. He tries to fight back. The full step on point. The Living Blast will stop the Templar Assassin for a moment. He did manage to bring down the Crystal Maiden. Oh, Invoker might be some trouble here. He uses the Ghost Sword trying to escape, but he won't manage to run away. They manage to catch up the puck. Oh, will they? The puck tries to jump forward. Gets lifted up there, and he might just fall here. Dispel. Rocket Barrage. No, Dispel. Rocket Barrage. No. Oh, the blink away coming from Yang. Oh, the few Scepter saving him for a second, and Yang is able to survive through all that. The Brewmaster just Primal Split just expired in the nick of time. Meanwhile, remains you in a lot of trouble. He has to fight back here. There's no escape for him. He will almost secure the kill onto this Weaver, but he will fall. There's no refraction charges. One more right click. Oh, he will be able to tick away. No tick away. And Zio barely managing to survive that. He did try man fight, and he would have won a man fight if the Weaver did not have the time-lapse Sunstrike enough connect as well. So far, DotaHero still staying into this game with the Aegis steal. That was a huge play coming from the side of DotaHero, and that just kept them in this game. From what seemed to be the beginning of Fire Dragoon, Snowball has now plateaued once again as we are neck and neck, 50-50 on both sides. Templar Assassin does complete the next tier of items. Blink Dagger completed onto this Brewmaster as well, so he will be able to jump to the back line and just constantly harass out this Undying and this Crystal Maiden. Hunt spots them out. Oh, here comes a huge ripcore onto 2, but they have the Shrine there. This is not the best fight. Here comes the call down. Shrine has been trying to give chase to this Puck dropping very low. Trying to make himself survive here. He will dash through all that, but will they be able to give chase here? No. Puck safely in the trees, and it will be DotaHero having to back off. They spent. Did they use the BKB? Yes, they did spend a BKB onto his Gyrocopter, so he's not able to survive through all the nuke damage if they focus fire on him. So without the BKB, DotaHero gonna play safe for a little bit. Zio still showing the face in the mid lane. Let's have the Hurricane Pipe already completed, so that's gonna be an additional safety item for the Templar Assassin, who has already went for so much damage items. The Brewmaster onto the back line. Oh yes, he's out of mana. He's in a lot of trouble. He almost died there. The Soul Ring was on cooldown, so he was not able to jump to the back line and use the Primal Split. He has to watch out there. The diffuser blade on
Radiant's top
Ajit
tower is under
just
attack.
being
Radiant's
so
top
detrimental
tower
to
has
this
fallen.
Brewmaster to make these kind of plays. Already has the diffuser blade completed, Monkey Key bar already completed as well, so Brewmaster does not have the Drunken Haze potential
A golden thread.
onto this Brewmaster, so he does have to watch out. Seal towards the mid lane, carrying out a quick base. Once he gets his his BKB or even his Blood Sword,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
can
attack.
be used by the Gyrocopter to survive the EMP as well as the Ice Wall, so a few more seconds of the BKB has been burned, but as the time goes shorter by, the cooldown gets shorter as well, so using it in this situation might be great for
Radiant's
the
bottom
Gyrocopter.
tower
Meanwhile,
is under
Seal
attack.
gets picked off there by Ajit solo, so much damage coming from his Weaver. Oh, he's level 22 already. With
Radiant's middle tower
with
is
the
under
diffuser blade,
attack.
he is able to solo kill any of the heroes coming from the side of DotaHero. So with all these item advantages, Fire Dragoon wants to start knocking down the front doors of this, on the side of
Radiant structures
DotaHero.
are fortified.
Drunken Haze trying to buy some time. Ajit knocking on Heaven's Door. TNT Tower dropping well over of
Radiant's
Asos.
middle tower is
Weaver
under
locked down for a few more seconds, but a heal coming from Brian keeps Ajit tip-top shape. Or the alacrity on the siege creep does not work, but still one creep to means that the backdoor protection is still offline. Alacrity brings in EMP, gonna burn through all the mana on the drive on the back of the dropping barrel. Sunshine does not connect. BKB has to be used defensively. Here comes the Brewmaster trying to buy some space for this Gyrocopter to back off, and they will manage to hold this high ground for now. 18 seconds before the Templar Assassin is gonna respawn. All of their ultimates are still there standing. Zig in the front line is trying to do as much damage as possible, trying to make Fire Dragoon back off, and looks like Fire Dragoon will back off. DotaHero manages to hold a high ground. Shot the courier dropping very low, 20 HP away from falling, but manages to survive. There's some missed micro coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. They do not get punished for that, so all in all, nice hold from DotaHero being one man down, managing to defend the tier 3. Did take some damage on the tier 3 tower, but all things considered, they did manage to hold a high ground in a quite convincing fashion. I keep hearing sunstrikes, but I have no idea where they land. Meanwhile, see a huge item pickup here by from the
Dire are
Gyrocopter,
scanning.
planning to at least get this next big item pickup. Brewmaster last time had the Blink Dagger as well as a Radiant, so he's just constantly being used to team fights. The missed chance is so annoying to deal with the Monkey Key bar already completed on this Weaver. I think he will have no problems dealing with this. Things are up. Slowly chilling down here. Invoker does have Lincoln Sphere already completed as well as a Blink Dagger, so he is able to blink towards the front line and start dealing damage. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the item Templar Assassin needs that BKB as soon as possible, or this Invoker is just going to be a constant pain in the rear for him. Yeah, Gyrocopter, we can see his item build up as well. Enchantress did complete the Hero of Atos as well through the Defiance to be able to survive through all the damage coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. Well, on the side of Fire Dragoon, Brian, as you can see, his item build up. Puck does have his Lincoln Spear on his own, so all of these cores have Lincoln Spears, which is gonna be detrimental for this Bane element, for this Bane to deal with, just because he has to look for the timeouts of his Lincoln Spear to be able to get the Fiend's Grip off, so he has to watch out for that.
Invisibility.
And the map control on both sides are still pretty even as well. The Templar Assassin traps, of course, going to be the constant vision provider around the map, and with that, manage to spot out. Right, will they manage to come in time though? Brewmaster has to deal with the creep wave. Comes everyone. Brewmaster blinks straight in towards the back line. Tries to control the Invoker in the meantime. Roshan dropping already very low. The Crystal made it 2 right clicks and he does fall in the end. You can see onto a lap, Studio down, buyback onto a left, Sunstrike trying to buy some time, Puck in the front line, the Aegis does fall, he will be the one picking up the Aegis, Big dropping very low, but he does survive in the end, so 2 for Neutrino, buyback onto this Invoker, will Fire Dragoon be able to get anything out of this? The buyback has to be let themselves something, because right now they just bought back for nothing. They lost the Aegis, they lost the Crystal Maiden as well, so huge win coming for the side of DotaHero. They lose nothing in the entire team fight. And getting the Aegis, getting the cheese is gonna make DotaHero's team fight just so much stronger. Gyrocopter getting the extra life, Templar Assassin getting the extra life as well, making his way towards the next tier of item. He's just gonna be able to nuke down all these heroes on the side of Fire Dragoon. So right now, driver's seat, as you can see, rocky as hell, but right now back to the way of DotaHero. Puck.
Behold!
Let's have Linkus here. Small as a day on 19 to 19, 36 minutes into this game. Still going very even. What item build-ups are both of these teams going for? As you can see, Gyrocopter is still holding on to his gold. Where is his items? He had a lot more than this, but
Radiant are
still kept his
scanning.
gold. One main Puck going straight for the Brewmaster. The Puck trying to escape. Should be fine walking away from this top lane. Alacrity is pushing out a creep wave with his core spirits. Go straight in. Brewmaster in a lot of trouble with Sunstrike on point, but they will lose a Crystal Maiden for this. One more right click from the Impetus. That's for the end, trying to give up Puck. They need to catch out this Puck. It has to be a much more even trade than this. Puck trying to survive, pushing onto the back line. He does have the Dream Core ult. For good, he actually catches out the Bane. Bane is in a lot of trouble. Bane will fall for sure. Reaver does have the Eye of Scarly, and it will be a home. Nice two-man Dream Core onto these two heroes on the side of Fire, on the side of DotaHero. Zero is out of mana, he does have the Aegis, but will he stand and fight here? The cold snap being so much. Buyback onto the Brewmaster. Zero has fallen. Where is the Gyrocopter? He's not going to join the fight. Brewmaster buys back. Ice Wall stops them for the moment, but they did force the buyback onto the Templar Assassin, so huge win coming for the side of Fire Dragoon once again. It was a huge trade-off as well. We didn't see the Invoker buyback in the last team fight, and it was the Brewmaster who bought back in this team fight. They did manage to get the Aegis away from this Templar Assassin cleanly as well, so huge win coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. Gyrocopter does complete his butterfly, but the MKB has already been completed onto this Weaver. So is this butterfly going to do anything for this Gyrocopter? It's going to help him with the right click attack speed, but other than that, a little bit of damage I suppose. But he would have been doing much better with item build-ups like the Bloodthorn, like even the Daedalus would have been great for the Gyrocopter, but right now all he has is a butterfly, which is decent amount of damage, but might not be enough. Meanwhile, top lane pushed out here by Puck. Trying to harass out this Gyrocopter who doesn't have cheese, so he's in no fear of dying anytime soon as long as he's not stunned up to a point that he's not able to use his cheese. So right now Fire Dragoon still taking their time. 40 minutes in, 20 to 21. Things are still neck and neck. This is only game one of this best of 3 series, and it has already been showing to be a very close matchup between Fire Dragoon as well as DotaHero. Broker does show that he is making his way towards an Octarine core. Enchantress does complete the Hurricane Pike as well. Bane, being Koro Bane, has nothing at the moment. Gyrocopter the top lane does complete his butterfly to the world. well. Brewmaster has his BKB, so he's able to survive through all the nukes that they have been throwing on Brewmaster. And he does. He's not level 25 yet, so he does not have the quick cooldown onto this Brewmaster ultimate. But it is not too long of a cooldown for the Brewmaster to use to be able to save his life anyways. So a small victory for the side of Fire the Goodman, force out the primal split from the Brewmaster. So far, they are not making any attempts to try and push for the side of Fire the Good. Double damage onto Zhu. Core completed on this Invoker, so a little bit more survivability on their end. And Brewmaster does have to buy his BKB for his team, sadly. Gonna go for his Octarine Core as you liked. Trying to make his way to his next tier of item as well. This team, the game has slowed down to a pace where both of these teams do not want to take a very bad team fight, knowing that any team fight loss at this point means at least one lane of rack. Not commit any buybacks to it.
Dire are scanning.
Orchid was already completed on this Templar Assassin, so he should be able to lock down any of these heroes, especially the Invoker. He does have the Lincoln Sphere, so he is able to survive through all that, but as long as once his Lincoln Sphere is popped, this Invoker is in a very dangerous position with the Templar Assassin being able to jump towards the back line straight away. Lincoln Sphere
Radiant's middle tower
very
has
tanky
fallen.
and very difficult to deal with, as you do see. Monkey King Bar also completed as well. We've been just harping on about that premature Monkey King Bar, which is just right now raking in the wonders. Bottom lane, tower does fall in the end. Fire the Good.
Bottom tower has
Alacrity
fallen.
picks it up with his 4 spirits. So that shrines on both sides are open.
Radiant's bottom
So it
shrine
depends
is
on
under
whether
attack.
Fire the Good wants to defend his shrine or not. I mean, the side of DotaHero wants to defend his shrine.
Dire's
or
bottom
not.
tower is under attack.
Besides, Zhu in a lot of trouble moving away from Ajin. Oh, Weaver gets caught out in the freeze game, perfect! And they not next because the Weaver, the time lapse was just perfect. Oh, the last catch up for his Blank in the perfect position. The cooldown bringing him down. He will forward the A1-4-1 trailer so far. But they do manage to bring down the Crystal Blade in the end. They will be a beyond godlike for Jin giving chase to the Enchantress. Enchantress does fall. Brian being chased down there by the Brewmaster Earthlings. But there is just so much zombies here. Brewmaster is through the front lines giving chase. He gets hexed up. He's in a lot of trouble. Does he have a... No, he does not. He does fall in the end. 3-4-0 trade-off. The Crystal Maiden ultimate just dealing so much damage, as you can see. Oh my Jesus. Oh my lord. Ajin goes through the backline getting the kills as well. And the Deafening Blast just bought just so much time for the entire lineup of Fire the Good to be able to survive through all the damage. Weaver almost dying there. The Fiend's Grip was just a second cancelled too early, and with that, Fire the Good goes straight for the bottom lane of
Radiant
Rax.
structures are fortified.
They commit any buyback for this. We have one buyback coming from the
Radiant's
Enchantress.
bottom barracks are under
Much
attack.
silence onto this. A lot of damage gets stunned up. Oh, but the time lapse moves down just on time. Oh, the Deafening Blast once again. Just so on point, buying time for his teammates to back up. And with that, one lane of Rax is already down. Fire Ajin goes straight towards the front line, trying to man fight. But this guy comes doing so much damage. He doesn't have the cheese. Will he use it? No, he gets down there by the puck. Oh, without the cheese. He doesn't have the cheese. He doesn't use the cheese. The buyback on this puck on the back line dropping very low. But when he gets all together, he will manage to survive there. Oh, the third. Buyback on the Scarlet Thompson. Will try and fight back. Here comes Yang onto the left. You forcing into the ultimate. He buys back as well. The Deafening blast once again, buying so much time. Once again, buyback on the 2 cores on the side of DotaHero. Looks like they're going straight for it. Guys, up against Hextap. He cannot get you done. He has the cheese. He has to use the cheese. He uses it in the air. Zero in the front lines. Trying to get my run the people. The force stabs to me for the moment. Force by EV locked in place. Master gets used up as well. Trying to Master that right coming very low. He does have to use his ghost to try to survive through all this. Here comes the stun. Brian will fall in the air and Lappity trying to escape. He gets stuck up. He does fall in the air. Brian in the backside. He will fall in the air. So 3 heroes down for the side of Fire Dragoon. And DotaHero does hold in the end. But at what cost? They bought back on 3, or they bought back on 2 heroes to try and hold on to these tier 3s. So right now they have to get something done around the map. They need to push down tier 2s, they need to bring down these tier 3s before the buybacks come out from the side of Fire Dragoon. They need to take down Roshan. There is so much on the to-do list on the side of DotaHero, and they only have less than 2 minutes to do this. This is like me on the final day of assignments where you have to prep up everything in one day. So they are trying to do as much as they can, going straight for one of the objectives around the map. But will they buy back on the side of Fire Dragoon to do to try this? They know that this is going on. The Roshan will go on to the side of DotaHero. This is the big Roshan. This is the one with the cheese, with the refresher shard. So double BKB, double blood torn, double blink dagger, double everything on the side of DotaHero. They have the cheese as well to be able to reset fights. What would be the best hero to pick up this refresher shard? Double flat cannon, I guess, would be great. Brewmaster getting double ultimates, but he's already level 25, so he has that reduced cooldown. So the double primal split might not be the biggest impact in these team fights. Double Fiend Script would have been great to lock down these heroes, but without the Glimmer Cape, this Bane is in a very precarious position to be able to cast these long duration Fiend Scripts. So far, DotaHero did lose the team fight quite handily, had to buy back a few times, but still holding on. As you can see, the net worth as well as experience. Kills still going pretty even, 24 towards 27 so far. As a Templar Assassin does have the Aegis now, so she did have to use the buyback in the previous team fight, but right now with the Aegis, she should be feeling quite safe. Meanwhile, Fire Dragoon, what are they going to do now? They knew they have around 3 minutes left to burn on this Aegis timer. So they have to keep watch of their time on this Aegis. And trying to get pickoffs instead of going for full 5-man team fights. As we see Zero pushing out the bottom lane. Tier 1 tower is still standing for the side of DotaHero to pick up, so that is additional around 1,500 gold for going through their pocket, and they will go straight for it.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Watch is pushed down slightly.
Dire's bottom tower.
Your damage. Oh, Invoker again caught out here. Speed shift on point. One gets a 4-man coil. Here comes the beat blow. Here comes the damage. Primal Speed is just BKB. Last pop there by the Templar Assassin. He goes straight for it. Ryan comes the Newton Guard, trying to survive through all that, but so far it seems to be an all for nothing trade. Tier 3 tower does fall in the end on the top lane. Ajit did manage to get that on their own. The puck 4-man Dream Core just saving Invoker. So all things considered, they are resetting so far. Who picked up the refresher shard? Was it used? I don't think it was used. It's still on the Templar Assassin. He chased through the Invoker. He gets silenced up. He gets slowed down there by the psionic traps, but not able to do anything else other than that. It is a 3-pronged attack coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. There is no more tier 3 standing for DotaHero. They have to make this stand. They have to defend this high ground against the side of Fire Dragoon.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
being so far ahead, so far behind in terms of net worth. Can they actually try and defend this? They have to use this BKB, but with that short cooldown on this BKB now, it's not gonna matter too much. They need this Bane with this Glimmer Cape, because right now he's just constantly being cancelled, despite getting some very nice fiends with the puck. It's just so on point, cancelling out on the ultimate. On lane, BKB has been used by the Guard Counter to be able to TP away, using it like a rage to BKB and TP away. It is a 5-second BKB, so the cooldown is like 50 seconds, not too much. A huge issue there. Top tier, top range Rex has been brought down there by Ajit alone. He's so difficult to deal with this here. Oh, Hex onto this Templar Assassin. Is there the follow-up by his teammates? No, there is not. So Zeal is going to be able to clean up, mop up the creep waves, and are able to survive through everything all after all that. Looking at the buyback status, so you can know who has the buyback and who has not. So next team fight will be very crucial for both sides. Whoever wins it most probably will take the game, because right now there is still tier 2 standings for the side of Dragoon, but if they take a clean fight and they lose, they might find themselves one lane of Raxes, 2 lanes of Raxes down. Gyrocopter holding on to his buyback as well. Does show the even edge, so buyback is an option for Alacrity goes straight in. Tornado as well. Oh, Zeal managed to pick up the Reaper. There's a huge pickup, and they did manage to bring down the Bane as well. Meanwhile, bottom lane, the Park bringing down the range Maxes, trying and did manage to get it in the end. He will manage to run away to safety.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Aegis does expire, so Zeal did not die. Did manage to get a huge pickup onto the Weaver at the cost of the Bane, but not the huge cost, seeing that it is of course only a support hero in the end. The Hail Marys are coming out here. Divine Rapier completed there by the Gyrocopter. So with that, they have to deal with this Gyrocopter. He's going to be dealing so much damage, 600 damage per right click with the additional Black Hand hits. He's just going to do so much damage.
regeneration.
Primal split!
Brewmaster using the Primal Split just to push out the creep waves, pushing out very safely, leaving the Earth Spirit towards the back line, leaving the other two on the front line as well. Of course, the Fire Spirit does not have the Radiance Burn, only the Earth Spirit has the Radiance Burn, so not getting that additional Radiance farm, but still, this is one safe way to push out the lane. As you do see, the Octarine Core completed onto this Brewmaster, so he's able to just constantly spam out his ultimate. It lasts for 20 seconds, and it cooldowns at 26 seconds, so that's 6-second downtime on the Primal Split, which means that this Brewmaster will be able to jump to the front line and just constantly be a nuisance as long as he has enough mana to do all those. 53-minute game we have in the first game of this WESG Malaysia semi-finals. This is one out of the two games. On the other side, we have 818 going up against New Beginning. Zeal gets slowed down here. He might get hexed up. Is there detection? No, there is not. Zeal pops the BKB and manages to blink away. He's going to survive here. Blink into the hex though. Zeal in a lot of trouble. Zeal does have a buyback, dropping very low. He still survives, but it won't be Ajit bringing him down. Right in the front line, trying to buy some space. Brewmaster towards the back line, causing havoc. They did manage to bring down Brian, but will they manage to get more here? They catch out Yang with the tornado. Buyback onto Zeal. Will they take this team fight? They still have everything at their disposal here. Templar Assassin didn't have to use a buyback, but 4 versus 5 is team fight right now. They're trying to go for Yang. Yang dropping very low, pops the Ghost Scepter. The homing missile still coming towards his way. The Ice Wall trying to buy some space here. Yang might be in some trouble here, gets stunned up there. The Ice Wall perfect. One more right click and he will fall again. He will be the biggest pop. Divine Rapier on this guy, comes to try to give chase to Alacrity. But he will decide otherwise. Meanwhile, top lane, Zeal trying to catch out. Oh, the hex onto the Templar Assassin, cancel the TP. Is there the backup? Ajit is there. Will they have enough damage to bring him down? He tries to fight back. Is there enough damage? Zeal, man fight against 3. He does not. He has no buyback. He's down. 1 core down. Dragoon has brought out 2 heroes as well. Double kill onto Ajit. 3 versus 3 at the moment. There is no buyback onto Zeal on this Templar Assassin. And right now, it will be the last 3 man. This will be the Alamo for the side of DotaHero, trying to hold on to this high ground against all these 3 heroes. They do have the Divine Rapier on this Gyrocopter, which they do have to deal with, but will it be enough? There is only one lane of Raxus left in towards the mid lane. Top lane still has the melee Raxus. 1 minute 30 seconds without Zeal, without their most farm hero on their side. Typo's been trying to buy some time. Is the backdoor protection off? No, it is not. RG in the front line. Yes, booted up. Is there a disable? No, there is not. The EMP goes through, burning all the mana from the boost plays, but they do lose the top range Rex as well. Mid lane Rex is already very low. Range Rex is dropping very low as well. Around 300 HP left. So they are going to do the one final push on the side of Fire Dragoon. They go straight for the range Rex. They bring down very easily. One more melee Rex this time. Brewmaster brings in. He's been there so much damage. Here comes the Divine Rapier, dealing so much damage. Is it enough? There is no lockdown. The Weaver just runs away. Here comes the puck. Going straight in. Guys up against the He has the Divine. He has to use it. He has to use his item, but he doesn't want it. That's fall. Guys up to that fall. Does he have to buy back? Yes. He's not gonna buy back as of yet, or does he have to buy back? We do not know. 3 heroes down, no more calls, and it will be the first game. Fire Dragoon, after 56 minutes, brings down DotaHero in the first game of this best of season. What a game so far, 27 to 35. And after hour-long fight, Fire Dragoon gets themselves on the board and puts DotaHero on the brink of elimination in this best of 3 single elimination finals. Huge game coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. MVP will have to go to Ajit all the while. He only died once, got 21 kills for himself, so huge game coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. But of course, this is a best of 3 series. Both of these teams are not out yet. They want to secure the spot to represent Malaysia in the WESG APAC finals. So we're going to take a short break before we come back with the next game. Until then, my name is Zero. We'll be back really shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, after a well-deserved 10-minute break for both sides, after a very exciting 60-minute game from Fire Dragoon as well as DotaHero, we are back with the second game of the semifinals in this WESG Malaysia qualifiers. Tournament lives are on the line. DotaHero is one more game away from being eliminated for the running to play in the WESG APAC finals. Meanwhile, Fire Dragoon, after a very convincing series, despite it taking 60 minutes long, they are one game away from securing a flight to China to play in the WESG APAC qualifiers. My name is Zero. I have been your host for the entire day in this WESG Malaysia qualifiers happening in Orange Esports Stadium, Starbuck, and we will be going through the rest of the games for the day. Of course, this event is brought to you by Ali Sports, co-organized by Orange Esports. Our sponsors, of course, Logitech as well as Coca-Cola. Thank you for making this event possible. As we go straight into the draft right now, Fire Dragoon has banned out their 3 heroes. They have banned out the Enchantress, the Nyx Assassin, as well as the Undying. Meanwhile, on the other side, DotaHero banning out the Kunkka, the Razor, as well as the Brewmaster. So, not taking the last game into account, both of these teams are starting the draft fresh, going to ban out a fresh set of heroes. As you can see right now, the DotaHero, there was no Razor, there was no Kunkka in the previous game. Of course, the Kunkka was banned out in the first phase by DotaHero. The Brewmaster, they picked it up themselves. Meanwhile, on the side of Fire Dragoon, there was a Nyx Assassin. There was a Enchantress, so they banned it out in the first stages of this draft. But right now, Nyx Assassin as well as the Undying has already been banned out on the side of Fire Dragoon. First pick is going towards the way of DotaHero as well as Radiant. So Fire Dragoon does have second pick as well as the Dire, so not going to give first pick Undying to the side of DotaHero, banning it up in the last stages. First pick will be the Puck for the side of DotaHero, giving the Puck the initiation factor towards the side of DotaHero. You can of course go towards the off lane. We have seen it a lot of times today. Puck can go towards the off lane, can go towards the safe lane, can go towards the mid lane and win most matchups as well. So the Puck is a very versatile hero that does not show too much of a draft,
team pick.
and it's always a safe first round pick. Fire Dragoon picks up the Night Stalker as their first pick, that being their vision hero as well as their tempo controller in the early stages of the game. And the Omni Knight has been left ignored so far in this draft so far. In the previous 3 games, we've seen it either banned or picked really quickly. So right now, Fire Dragoon, they have the option to go for it, and they do not. They go for the Shadow Shaman. So tower pushing, they have single target disables. They have tower pushing damage coming from the Shadow Shaman. They have the ganking potential coming from the Night Stalker, and they have the vision advantage with the Night Stalker as well. So this is a much more well-rounded starting draft coming from the side of Fire Dragoon. There's a lot of options they can go for to fill up the rest in terms of physical damage, the nuking damage, and the AoE control as well. So these are the 5 trinities, I would say the 5 golden rules of a draft. Is you need single target lockdown, you need vision, you need tower damage, you need AoE control, and last but not least, you need physical damage. So Fire Dragoon has 2 out of their 3 bases, 2 out of their 5 bases already covered. So the rest of the draft is going to be much more flexible for them to pick up. Meanwhile, on the side of DotaHero, they have 1 hero so far, which is the Puck, providing that magical nuke damage as well as crowd control, and continuing their draft with an Ogre Magi as their second pick. Ogre Magi, the buff Bloodlust does really well, goes really well against a lot of the right-click heroes like the Draw Ranger, the Medusa, the Weaver, even the Sniper. Anything that right-clicks, the Ogre Magi is one of the best support heroes to go with. Not to mention that it is very tanky as well, and he is generally not afraid of heroes like the Night Stalker or the Shadow Shaman, just because of how innately tanky he is to be picked up by these 2 heroes. So DotaHero might be going for an all-rounded tanky lineup so that they do not have to be afraid of roaming around solo against this Night Stalker. Night Stalker really loves to pick off heroes which are squishy and alone. Heroes like the Crystal Maiden, like Dazzle, like the Rubik. These heroes do not stand a chance against the Night Stalker. But if you go for heroes like the Ogre Magi, if you go for tanky support heroes like the Earth Spirit as well, all of these heroes do not even care about Night Stalker. DotaHero banning out the Phantom Lancer, while Medusa as well as the Nature's Prophet already banned out there on the side of Fire Dragoon. So Medusa left out, not going to be able to be picked on both teams. So what other Bloodlust heroes, Bloodlust synergies we have for the side of DotaHero? We still have the Draw Ranger, we still have the Weaver, the Sniper, the Luna will be great as well. Even heroes, the right click Terrorblade is really great again with the Bloodlust, just deals so much tower damage and are still left available in the pool. Phantom Lancer, I mean the Tinker has been banned out on the side of DotaHero, so
Dire team pick.
it might be going something along those lines, but Juggernaut will be the third pick on the side of Fire Dragoon. Most probably as the safe lane farmer as well as the Shadow Shaman as well as Juggernaut will be able to bully any offlaner hero, especially if the puck goes towards the offlane. The puck is not going to have a great time against the Shadow Shaman just because of how long his disables last, with the Hex lasting for 1.75 and the Shackle lasting for 3 in level 1. That is nearly 5 seconds of lockdown onto this puck, which the puck will not be able to reply, or even might just die with this Blade Fury coming up from the Juggernaut.
Radiant team pick.
Tiny will be the third pick for the side of DotaHero. It could be going towards the offlane. I mean, Tiny has been one of the most versatile heroes of 7.07. We have seen him going towards the offlane. We've seen him going towards the mid lane as a mid lane hero. We've seen him played as a position 4, a position 5, played as the position 1 as well. Tiny has been one of the most ambiguous heroes to lane against. I mean, you can go put it towards the offlane, and with his high innate status resistance, he's very difficult to be brought down here by the Shadow Shaman. Of course, in the early stages, he is still quite squishy, but towards the later stages, the Shackles just seem to last a second against the Tiny, which is really difficult to control in team fights. Fire Dragoon, they have their 3 heroes. They are still lacking that initiation power as well as the crowd control. So right now, heroes that pop into my 9, Magnus would be great with the Juggernaut, providing the empower, providing the AoE crowd control, and just buffing up the Juggernaut even more. Do so much damage in team fights as well. That might be one of the options. Pit Lord, of course, still left available in the pool, does lock down the puck as well as the Ogre Magi quite nicely as well, although does not provide that much as much potential as the Juggernaut, as the Magnus, but the Pit Lord does have, the Underlord does have a lot more room to recover if he has a very bad laning stage.
Dire team pick.
Bear Rider instead will be the hero choice for the side of Fire Dragoon. It will be an offlane Bear Rider. We did see Kang playing the offlane Bear Rider in, I believe, the second game on stream today. I forgot who against 818. He played a really great Bear Rider, got really nice timing on his Link Dagger as well. So once again, they entrust this Bear Rider onto Kang,
5 seconds remaining.
Who will be the mid-game tempo controller along with this Night Stalker. So there is a lot of vision controllers on the side of Fire Dragoon. They have the Bear Rider with the Firefly, the Night Stalker providing night vision as well. So a lot of initiation power as well as just overall vision in team fights. Fire Dragoon does have that advantage over DotaHero so far. So what sort of vision heroes are left in the pool for DotaHero to pick up? They need some sort, able to counteract heroes like this. Disruptors still left in the pool. I guess they go for a Chen, which fits their early game aggression lineup. We've seen them play a very nice Enchantress in the previous game, just controlling the tempo with the ganks, the constant pushes and ganks around the map. So they go for the Chen, the weaker, but the weaker, I guess, of the 2 heroes with the Enchantress as well as the Chen, but it does provide a much more early game presence with the Hand of God, with much tankier creeps as well. The Chen does provide more pushing power as well. So instead of the Disruptor, they go for the Chen, so giving away the vision gain, but they do have a lot of pushing power. So if you stick together, you do not need that much vision, I guess. So DotaHero does have that going for them, which is nice. Dragon Knight banned out on the side of Fire Dragoon, not wanting their mid lane hero to have a tough time against the Dragon Knight. So we might be seeing an Alacrity Evoker again. Might not be. There is a lot of single target disables, so there might be not a great Storm Spirit Grey or any hero that needs, which is really easily caught out. So we have to see what Fire Dragoon picks up for Alacrity in the mid lane. I mean, he has a really huge, he has a really wide hero pool, so we might see him playing heroes like the Queen of Pain, which is still left in the pool. Death Prophet, just banned out, so Death Prophet out of the question. But Fire Dragoon does still have a lot of options for Alacrity to go towards this mid lane. They do have the last pick, so they have this option to counter pick whatever goes towards the mid lane against Alacrity. So it might be the puck, it might not be the puck. It might be a whole other hero altogether. With this last pick, we will see it all wrapped up. Omni Knight going towards the off lane, puck towards the mid lane, and it will be a tiny core on the side of DotaHero. So what will Fire Dragoon pick up against this puck? Queen of Pain still left in the pool. They might go for a Temporal Assassin for themselves. Does really great against the puck, although with the Ogre Magi towards the mid lane, the Ignite might be a little bit annoying to deal with. So let's just see what Fire Dragoon picks up for Alacrity towards the mid lane. They do still have a little bit of reserve time to go work with, but they will go straight for the Outroad Devourer, which is yet another hero that does really well against this puck. Although it is a little bit gankable with the Ogre Magi as well as the Chen, but with timely rotations and back TP backup coming from his teammate, there should not be a problem for Fire Dragoon to win the laning stages right now. Game 2 of this best of 3 series between Fire Dragoon as well as DotaHero. Fire Dragoon 1 game up and 1 game away from making their way to China to represent Malaysia in the WESG APAC qualifiers, while DotaHero fighting for their tournament lives to stay in this race and to take this to game 3. Who will take it in this game? We do not know so far. The lineup on both sides seems very close. There is a lot of nuking power coming from the side of DotaHero, while Fire Dragoon just controls the map so well with all their tower pushing potential coming from the Shadow Shaman, as well as the vision control coming from the Night Stalker, as well as this Bat Rider. So we'll have to see how the laning phases pan out. But until then, this is Fire Dragoon going up against DotaHero, Game 2 of this WESG Malaysia qualifiers.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, sorry about that. Going through on the side of Fire Dragoon, we have Brian playing the Night Stalker. Bat Rider will be played by Kang. Shadow Shaman will be played by Yang. Outroad Devourer, Alacrity will be manning that, and last but not least, Ajit on the Juggernaut. Meanwhile, on the side of DotaHero, we have Zeal playing the puck. Tiny will be played by once again the Chinese words. Wish they would change the name though. Dot will be playing the Omni Knight. Ogre Magi will be playing Ogre Magi will be played by Dao Zedong, and last but not least, Chen will be played by Sync. So Sync was the Enchantress player in the last game. He did create so much space, as well as just control the tempo towards the early phases of the game for the side of DotaHero in the first game. So we'll have to see how he does in this game. Chen is a different, altogether a different hero. If you compare it to the Enchantress, he does require a little bit more farm towards the early phases of the game.
Was most welcome.
He does have that linking potential once he gets his axe, just still controlling the Ancients as well. So, of course, this is game 2. Tournament lives are on the line. DotaHero do not want to go home as of yet.
Begins.
Ajit taking a clutch on the Yoga Magi. Nothing he can much do about it. Night Stalker towards Night Stalker going to block the creeps for the Outroad Devourer, and taking a look at the creep equilibrium towards the mid lane. It is quite even, which in fact is quite great for Alacrity in this mid lane. So a nice block coming from Sync on the mid lane, providing extra backup for Zeal. So they are missing quite a bit of assets. Sync, number one, I'm not going to go straight to jungle. Just gonna harass out Alacrity. In fact, trying to secure the lane towards secure the mid lane for the OD, but so far not able to do that much except steal experience from this Chen. So he might just go straight into the jungle. Meanwhile, bottom lane it will be a dual lane, and Brian might be some trouble here. Slowed down by the ignite. There is. They're gonna stun him up with Yang, but Tiny was just saving the avalanche for that exact moment. He is able to cancel out the shackle. So nice disabled. Nice plays coming from the side of DotaHero, trying to secure the lane. Creep waves are gonna get pushed out slightly. So DotaHero, their aggressive tri-lane will be able to get some experience under the tower safely. But right now, Chen. Rotations coming in. Chen spots out Brian, but they might go for another hero. They're going straight for Yang. There is 3 rock golems to stun. The chain stun's on point. Yang dropping very low. The ignite, the right click from Zing managed to bring him down, but he will pay with his life. There are still 2 more rock golems. There is no stuns of any of them, and it will be the Ogre Magi having to run away with his huge club. So 1-for-1 trade-off. First blood does go towards the way of DotaHero. They have that going for them. They are playing very aggressive with this Chen. The rock golem is very annoying. There's 4 right now. They all have their stuns, so they all try and chain stun on this Dragoon, but he uses the spin great effect and dodges all the damage. The rock golems does actually a decent amount of damage. I'm not sure how much. I think it's 80 per golem, so there's like around 240 nuke damage coming from Chen. They are not done yet. Ignite. There's no mana on this Tiny. He has magic wands in case he needs any emergency avalanche, but so far the rotation from the Chen has been spotted out. So Fire Dragoon gonna play it safe, farm under the tower, gonna give the experience where they need to the inside. The Juggernaut dropping very low, tries to spin away a few more right clicks. There is no ignite damage, there is no more damage coming through. And Juggernaut will be able to spin his way to safety. The huge tree thrown by the Tiny, not enough damage to bring him down. And Ajit not going to have a great laning phase just because of how this Ogre Magi is just being a constant nuisance to his face, throwing ignites, stunning whenever possible. And this Chen, whenever he rotates in, is going to be a threat to this Juggernaut. Meanwhile, mid lane, things are going pretty neck and neck. Zeal holding his own against Alacrity in the mid lane. In terms of last hit as well as nice, things are very even. He did lose out in the early experiences because Chen was there, but right now he has caught up very nicely and is equal in terms of level as well as equal in terms of levels as well as experience. Tiny is still getting most of this lane. Nothing Ajit can really do about it. Just have to try and pull back the creep waves and farm the best as he can, playing like an off lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, once again, still pretty even. Top lane though, Omni Knight going up against this Bear Rider. The Omni Knight generally not going to have a very tough time against the Bat Rider. Seeing that he can just use Repel to cancel out the sticky napalm stacks. Can pick up a magic wand if he needs the regen from the sticky napalm. Meanwhile, bottom lane, oh Yang, he caught out between a rock as well as an ogre. And with the double damage from the ogre, they managed to get themselves a kill onto the squishy Shadow Shaman. So nighttime has arrived. Let's take a look at where the Night Stalker will be staking his grounds in this game. Chen generally needs a nice rotation to get keep up in terms of levels. He is right now is level 3, but needs a little bit more to get as much neutrals as he can. While top lanes, things are still going neck and neck between these two heroes. The Bear Rider, of course, having a very safe lane, he's able to cut through the creep waves and get that really safe farm, and he will be getting his Blink Dagger or his Drum of Endurance really quickly, whichever item he decides to go for. Mid lane, you see a dive going towards an Alacrity, the stun, the chain stun, the clap, he just managed to hit him down. Zing dropping very low under the tower, picking a lot of damage. Zhu being slowed down there by the Void, but not enough damage from these two support heroes to follow up. So it will be a 1-for-1 trade-off. A support Chen for the Outworld Devourer, a trade that DotaHero will be happy to take any day of the week. So leading in terms of kills so far, DotaHero is very comfortably winning 2 lanes. Zhu might be in some trouble. Tries to jaunt away. Might not go towards. He does actually go for it. With the shrine, he is able to heal back to safety, despite the Night Stalker just being there, being a constant. He does not have a level in Crippling Fear, so but in some trouble here. He needs the TP back. He's dropping very low. He does have his lock, Dream Core locking 2 in place, trying to fight back. Yang dropping very low. Zhu giving chase and he will fall in the end. Zhu though might be in trouble. He does have his magic ward. Repel coming through. Guardian Angel buying some time. Zhu will be able to regen through all that damage. And Zhu is able to survive through all that as well. No Sanity Eclipse going to be committed for Alacrity. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they did manage to bring down Ajit as well with a nice rotation coming from Chen. So DotaHero is everywhere and they want to bring this to game 3. As you see them absolutely dominating the laning stages so far. Because Fire Dragoon does have a really strong late game lineup with a dual core set up with the Outworld Devourer as well as Juggernaut. So we have to see how they come back from this top lane. Omnia dropping very low, but he is very tough to handle as a Bear Rider with the repel, with the heal, and with the Night Stalker. Without the Crippling Fear, you are not able to do anything to be able to lock him down in time to take him down. Bottom tier 1 tower does fall with the power of the Chen as well as with the tiny damage going through. They did manage to bring down the tier 1 tower, which is going to open up the enemy jungle for them to start ganking around the map and dying. I mean, the Outworld Devourer, one of the easy heroes to gank as well, does not have that much does not have that much of an escape mechanism on this hero until he gets items like a Force Staff or even items different items. Magi in a lot of trouble, being dealt so much damage from the Firefly. Here comes the Tiny though, the stun. Alacrity keeps himself in place. The Green Ball will expire in another second. So Alacrity dropping very low, one more right click and he will fall in the end. It will be a killing spree going forward to Tiny. He does have the double damage as well. So that was all the damage, all the right click damage from this Tiny. 2-for-1 trade-off so far. They did pick up the... Oh, it was a 1-for-1 trade-off. They picked up the Ogre Magi for the Outworld Devourer once again. Another trade that DotaHero will be happy to take anytime. While Juggernaut up in the top lane trying to get as much farm as he can. Does not go for the phase boost, goes for the power threads because knowing how bad of a laning phases he had, he needs the ad to tank up as much as possible. So this power thread is going to help him a long way. DotaHero, the early game has been tip-top for them. 3-6 so far in terms of kills, and they are making all the right rotations here. Tiny steals a few of the last hits from the tree grab, toss I would say, and they are trying to pressure on this top tier 1 tower, which is nothing that the Juggernaut can do at the moment. He's just so far behind in terms of farm. Does need at least a Yasha to be able to join team fights. Well, Chen already level 4, already level 5, almost up to level 6. Once he gets that level 6, he will be able to provide even more pushing power on the side.
Dire are scanning.
Well, smoke coming through, they stun up Night Stalker, they chain it up perfectly with the net, with the storms coming from the Centaur, and they manage to pick up the Night Stalker. It is of course morning, he does not have the benefit of the better night vision, so smoke rotation coming in, they force out the TP from the Juggernaut. Will it be time? Yes it will. Nice time there by Ajit, but with that TP, it means that the top tier 1 tower is wide open for the taking. DotaHero, they have their eyes lined up towards this mid lane. Even steals the siege crypt to be able to do extra damage to this tier 1 tower. And with the Dark Soul Summoners, Skeletons, they will manage to bring this tier 1 tower down very, very quickly. Now it is just left to see. They will manage to try and defend this lane break, trying to stall things out. Repel stop everything in motion. Ajit pops the healing ward. And we'll be able to sustain everyone through it. No Blink Dagger onto this Bat Rider, so he's trying to get chased, trying to slow down one of these heroes. They do spot out the Chen as well as the Ogre Magi, but all of these heroes, not the heroes you want to go for. See how tanky they are. Ziu in the mid lane defending against these Serpent Wars being popped down there by the Shadow Shaman, who is already level 7. So he's able to defend. He's able to still push very well on his own. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ogre Magi shows his face as well towards the mid lane. So they might change their focus going towards the mid lane here. The top lane.
Blessings.
Darkness has been popped. They spot out the Bear Rider. Is there enough lockdown? Here comes the stun. Here comes the toss. As well as the stun coming from Ogre Magi. Knight slows him down for a moment. He will fall. One more right click and the burn is enough. Ogre Magi gets the last hit onto the Bear Rider. In the dead of night as well. 3-8. DotaHero is putting very far ahead in terms of kills, and with kills they get experience there. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman bottom lane getting some split pushing done. This is how you play Shadow Shaman in a high level. You do not really join team fights unless you really need to, or unless you've just popped all your skills onto this tower and just start joining team fights with your disabled. K1 tower top lane dropping very low. He will fall in the end. No defense coming in from the side of Fire Dragoon. They spot out Brian. There is a toss, but they might want to toss the Dark Crow Summoner towards the Night Stalker, but not going to go for it. Bat Rider does not have a Blink Dagger yet, so they are not going to be so afraid of that initiation power coming from the Bat Rider. Still, they have to watch out. They do not have vision over the map. The Flame Break knocks everyone back, tries to fight inside. Here comes the drums. Popped by the Bat Rider, they're giving chase. We go for the Dark Crow Summoner. Ogre Magi in a lot of trouble. He's stuck between 3 heroes. A Rock and a Heartbeat Juggernaut is there. Well, they might just force feed his kill, or will they? They are trying to fight back. Here comes the Puck. Goes in. They bring down 2. Ajit has fallen. So has a Night Stalker. Alacrity in a lot of trouble. He's caught before his ultimate line of damage, and it will be a double kill. Been going the way of Ziu. They lose only the Ogre Magi, but they pick up 2 of the main cores on the side of Fire Dragoon. And what more can they ask for? Shadow Shaman being chased here by Tiny. A few more right clicks and he should fall. There is a Blink Dagger, so he's not able to juke and jive. Or will he? Undying. The Tiny is taking chase. One more right click and it will be a mega kill streak going towards the way of the Tiny. And DotaHero off to an amazing start in this second game of this best of 3 series. 4-12 is the score so far. The goal not that far, as you can see. Fire Dragoon has managed to split up the map quite evenly. All that the DotaHero has been doing is sticking as 5, so his ganks, Ogre Magi, has gone too deep for his taste, so the Auro Devourer gets a freebie. Has already completed his Staff of Wizardry as well as his Drum of Endurance. So he gets themselves that kill. While Bat Rider trying to get his Blink Dagger as soon as possible. Once he gets that, he will be able to join. He's able to initiate his team fights. The team fights for his team, but until then, he will just have to manually fly over to initiate. And as we can see, thus far, that has not worked out for the side of Fire Dragoon. They need this Blink Dagger on this Bat Rider as soon as possible, because that is your tempo controller towards the mid game. Tiny already has the Blink Dagger, so he has the initiation factor. Chen already completed the mechanism, so he has that. Bat Rider blinks in. This is the debut. They send the Chen back. They send the Tiny back though, so that is going to be wasted of the lasso. Before has been used to try and secure the team fight. Serpent Wars has been popped down as well, so they are fighting under Serpent Wars. Actually dropping very low. Pop Robinson, but the Guardian Angel on point. Actually in trouble. He's caught in 5 heroes. He's gonna fall for sure. The Serpent Wars are just gonna be farmed up on the side of DotaHero. They are just gonna wipe things out. DotaHero, what a huge turnaround after a very close first game. They are just running away with this second game. Everything is on point. The Dream Calls, the Sandbag, and even the Guardian Angel just stopping the Omni Slash. What is going on here? Fire Dragoon, they lose K1, they lose the Juggernaut, and they might just lose the second lane of Raxus as well. There is no Omni Slash, there is no Serpent Wars. Will they try and defend this? The Chen, all his creeps are still quite healthy, so they might just go straight for the tier 2s.
Radiant's middle tower.
Magi continuing to buff up this Tiny. So much tower damage. He was Ziu in the front lines. He might actually go for more here. There is no lasso. are they feeling confident enough to try and push up his high ground? It is nighttime, although it is 15 seconds away from being morning, so DotaHero, what will be a call? Looks like they want to back off, and Fire Dragoon does live to see another night. Juggernaut going for early fighting items, drum of endurance, power threats. He just wants to fight as early as possible. Meanwhile, DotaHero, they just really love these early fights, and of course, if you want to fight early, they will take the fight early to you. As we do see Veil of Discord as well as Blink Dagger already completed on this puck. He has been huge so far. Omni did go for a more late game item with the Hand of Midas, but of course with the Arcane Boot as well as the Soul Ring, that is all he needs to be able to stand in lane. Let's see what Tiny actually goes for in terms of item build. Looks like he's going to go for, you can see here, not a typical top lane. Oh, they're gonna catch out the Ogre Magi. No, he manages to TP away. So close call here. They found the darkness. So they did not manage to get a kill onto the Ogre Magi, but they get themselves tier 1 in return. But in the meantime, bottom lane is gonna just get bottom as well as mid lane is gonna get pushed out on the side of DotaHero, and we might just see ourselves into a game 3 where DotaHero right now is in the driver's seat. 5-13, 17 minutes in. Net worth as well experience looking quite grim for the side of Fire Dragoon.
Radiant's bottom tower
Tier 2 tower dropping so quickly. The Tiny is doing so much damage. Yasha providing an extra attack speed and attack speed as well. 5 heroes, they are ready to go for this. Serpent Wards has been committed up in the top lane to try and push out to this tier 2. But right now tier 3s are in trouble. Orb is in trouble. Tiny Big Sneak goes straight for the backline. Catches the OD. Will they manage to him down here? Dropping very low. He gets out of that. He one more thing and he does fall. Is there a buyback? The offline, the Ogre Magi does. I mean, the Our Devourer does buyback. Here comes the the Angel has been used. Tiny brings them to the backline. Goes straight for the Shadow Shaman. Arjun dropping very low. He gets silence up. He's not able to use his Omni's actually. So much damage with his Silence is clean, but no hero actually fall. They only bring down the Ogre Magi. Punk has been hashed out on the backline. He does fall. 3 heroes have fallen on the side. Repel. One more activation. Omni Knight does fall in the end. Double kill. It will be 4 heroes. Actually, Omni Knight does survive, but right now, Fire Dragoon manages to clean up the floor. They did have to buy back on the Alacrity and they did lose Ajit, but so far they managed to held up to the high ground and they get themselves 4 kills in return. So much needed kills, I would say, on the side of Fire Dragoon, and they just bought themselves 5 to 10 more minutes of time before DotaHero feels comfortable to start pushing high ground again.
This sustains. Gold remains.
Once again, it might be DotaHero just diving in way too deep. They did not have enough nuke. They spent too much time fighting under the tower, which means that the Hour Devourer was just able to constantly steal the intelligence from the teammates, and one huge Sanity Eclipse managed to just wipe the floor here. Still, Sanity Eclipse is on cooldown for the moment, so that might be a timing window where DotaHero wants to start pushing once again to this bottom tier 3. It is still quite healthy. They did not do too much damage to this tier 3 tower, so they're gonna have to commit a little bit more to bring down this tier 3 tower.
Dire are scanning.
Zeus gets caught out here, he gets hexed up. But here comes the Tiny, the big brother, trying to save Zeus. Zeus still alive. He can't manage to bring down one right in a lot of trouble. Zeus will fall in the end, but Tiny trying to run away for the Silver Wars. Omni Slash going through. Ogre Magi does fall as well. Oh, this is a disaster for the side of DotaHero. They are trying to back off. They actually lose 3 heroes. They only lose the Shadow Shaman on the side of Fire Dragoon, but at what cost? It's an absolute disaster, a landslide of epic proportions for the side of Fire Dragoon as they pick up 3 heroes, and with that, the net worth as well as experience, as you can see, is almost nothing at the moment. The Blink Dagger on the Shadow Shaman manages to lock down the puck long enough for the Nice Lucker to walk in with the Crippling Fear, and with that, they will manage to bring down this bottom tier 1 tower, and they might actually look for more here. No puck, no Tiny, they might feel confident here. Sanity's Eclipse almost ready for cooldown, but the Hour Devourer has shown his face in the bottom lane, so I think that Fire Dragoon can really capitalize right now with the 2 heroes dead, so they are just going to be content with spreading out the map, pushing out the creep waves, and creating more map pressure across the map.
Stay near.
Oh, Puck uses the call onto Brian. Brian snaps it almost immediately. Tiny bringing in, tries to get a stun off, but Brian has managed to just juke and jive away. Juggernaut does have his Yasha, so he's going to be able to join team fights really quickly with this sort of item build-up. Not going for the Battlefield, not going for the greedy item build-ups, so he is able to join these team fights. The Mad Rider in trouble, tossed back into 4 heals. He gets stunned up. Oh no, not yet. They hold him in place and they manage to bring him down without committing too much ultimates there. So huge pick up there without the Bear Rider. The Roche Spring is wide open for the side of DotaHero to pick up. Because with the Bear Rider, one of the best Roche Spring controlled heals in the game, with him down for 40 seconds unless he buys back. There is not much that Fire Dragoon can actually do to contest this Roshan attempt coming from the side of DotaHero. So right now they are trying to do what the best they can do. Yang uses the Silver Ward in the bottom lane to try and clear out the creep waves, do as much structural damage to this bottom tier 2 as possible. But Puck is in position, he does have the recall. Jade will away just in time, timed perfectly, and the tier 2 tower dropping very low, but I don't think it will fall. Ogre Jaya as well as the Puck will be enough to clear things out. With that, they secure the Aegis to secure a kill on the Bear Rider, and right now the Aegis, maybe they want to try pushing high ground again. It is 2 minutes to daytime, so the timing jives perfectly with the so Bear Rider tries. Shadow Shaman catches out the Tiny, gets him shackled out as well, but the repel coming through. Yang in a lot of trouble. Defensive Astro, nice talker gets stunned out there. It is a very messy team fight. Puck does not have his recall. Oh, there are Tiny brings towards the backline trying to catch out Alacrity. Trying to escape here. Is there any stuns on the side of DotaHero? They might throw the Omnia towards the front line. Here comes the BKB from the Hour Devourer, buying some times, but it is a 10-second BKB charge, forced start on the side of DotaHero, and they should be very happy about that. They can just start pushing bottom right now, seeing that the creep waves are on their way. It is night time. Night is over in another minute, so they might oh, they actually spot out the Juggernaut and it goes straight for him. One more click and Puck will be able to secure the kill. It's a huge pickup onto this Juggernaut. 50 seconds without Juggernaut, and once he respawns, it will be daytime. DotaHero has the map open for them, so the world is their oyster. Depends on how they want to have this seafood right now. Bear Rider does have the 4 staff already completed, so he does have that catch potential for him. Still, there is so much cores you have to watch out for on the side of DotaHero. They have the chance to be able to send back any hero that gets lassoed up. They have the repel to cancel it out as well. So things are not easy if you are playing the Bear Rider as Kang, as tier 2 tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's gonna be just chopped away by this Tiny, doing so much damage. Where are the 10 creeps? 10 creeps, where are you, boy? 10 creeps, I guess.
Radiant's top tower.
Still, with this mass amount of range creeps as well as the repel, as the bloodlust, actually Chen creeps are in the middle. Okay, never mind. 4 Chen creeps in the middle will manage to help push out all the waves. Top, mid, already pushed up to the tower. Right now they are poised to push down the bottom lane or towards the mid lane. It is morning. There is of course darkness at their disposal for the side of Fire Dragoon.
Radiant
Forcing it right now to their favor. It's going to be huge for Fire Dragoon. They did not manage to bring down any Raxus in the previous attempt, pushing up high ground. Right now with the Aegis, will they manage to do so? Tiny did go for the Sanjay Yasha early team fighting item, so right now we have to see if they actually commit to this high ground push. Aegis is expiring very soon, so if they do not want to give it to waste, they have to go for this. There is a creep wave coming towards mid lane, bottom lane as well as top, still equally decently pushed out on both sides. So not too much of a hurry, not too much of a worry there. Look at the Aegis timer. Okay, still quite healthy. They have a decent amount of time left on the Aegis. So it looks like bottom lane will be the lane of choice. Actually, Puck bringing out the creep waves, Tiny cutting the creep waves as well. Gem picked up there by the Bat Rider, able to get some map control going towards their way. Looks like DotaHero is a little bit indecisive here, trying to push up 2 lanes at once. Bottom lane, Puck pushing out the creep wave. While mid lane they have set up 4 heroes. try and start pushing this mid lane tier 3 as well. Bottom and mid both reaching at the same time, more or less. So let's see which lane they actually go for. Tiny grabbing the Sakura tree. Straight for the tier 3. This Peril Bloodlust going to do so much damage. Force out the glyph. There is still a lot of creeps here. The siege creep is still ready for the side of the hero. Let's see how they take this fight. Fighter good. Oh, Puck goes straight in, tries to catch things out. Where is the disables? Tiny in the front line, picking up the tier 3, picking up very slow, very quick, and he almost falls and they will take the tier 3. And they actually get denied there on the side of Alacrity. Fighter good. Oh, Alacrity forcing himself straight in, but not able to do anything else other than that. Oh, Puck might drawn in. Nope, they might just go straight for the Rex. They are playing it very safe. They still have the Aegis. The Tiny brings straight to the backline, doing so much damage to the core. Here comes the darkness. How would it be seen by Tiny? Gets caught out in the server wars. This is gonna be huge. We get second out. His Aegis actually expires. There is no Aegis on this Tiny. He's caught out in the server wars. He manages to get sent back. So huge play coming from the Chen. Nobody is dead at the moment. Omni-Knight through the front line trying to survive. They're either trying to catch things as much as possible. Omni-Knight trying to run away. Might manage to know. The lasso will lock back. Omni-Knight, he gets sent back. Actually, he gets sent back. Sync, what a play. He might play with his life, but he sent back 2 of his cores. This support is on fire. They do not lose the Tiny. They do not lose the Omni-Knight. But in the end, it will only be the 2 sacrificial lambs, which are the 2 supports to deal with all that. So huge plays coming from the Chen. The Tiny, the Aegis, barely expired the entirety of the team fight, and they managed to just keep him alive long enough for him to be sent back here. Huge plays coming from the side of DotaHero. They did lose 2 of their supports, but all things considered, they did manage to bring down the tier 3 tower, which means the shrines are open for them, the map is open for them, and right now DotaHero is still quite comfortable in this game. Still, Fire Dragoon is slowly but surely catching up. Ajit was dealing a lot of physical damage. Needs a few more items, needs that Diffuser Blade or at least the Blink Dagger to be able to go straight towards the back line, and he was having to deal with the Tiny in the front lines. Not the best of positions to be if you are the Tiny. Still, night time for another 4 minutes. Which means that DotaHero will be spending that time pushing out the crit waves, taking as 5. Keeping the crit waves towards their favor. Not wanting to get caught out in a bad position. Oh.
Radiant are scanning.
Nighttime is the most active for the
Dire are scanning.
and they might actually catch out the Chen. Chen in a lot of trouble. He's trying to survive. He's caught up between 5 heroes. He's trying to run away. He'll fall in the end. Alacrity gets himself the kill. The Astro imprisonment onto this Omni-Knight. He does have no repel. Oh, the A on this. He survives. He helps him survive through all that damage. They did manage to bring out the puck. Omni-Knight TP's away, but the Astro will save him. Will stop him from his TP. Omni-Knight in a lot of trouble. They are still trying to bring him down. There is no repel. Where is the Tiny? Where is the other heroes? Tiny is gonna fall. Tiny does fall in the end. Omni-Knight. Is there any escape for him? He's dropping so low, and one more lucky. Alacrity brings him down. 4 heroes dead. Fire Dragoon finds that opening, finds the pickoff, and right now they will manage to at least pressure the towers. Quick waves are decently pushed out on 2 lanes, so right now they're pushing out towards the mid lane. Mid lane will be the lane of choice for the side of Fire Dragoon. They need to bring down these towers as soon as possible before the Tiny and the Omni-Knight respawns, because once they do, it will be morning, and once morning comes, Fire Dragoon has to back off. Master Star already completed on the side of Ajit, so he will be able to do all this tower damage. Bottom tier 2 tower very low as well. So they get 2 tier 2 towers, a huge after a 4 pickoff, 4-0 pickoff on the side of Fire Dragoon. They have to be happy. They have 2 more minutes of nighttime. They still have BKB. They have all their ultimates up on their cores. So, but it looks like Fire Dragoon will not press the issue for the moment. They know they have managed to pull things back towards their favor. They are playing it safe for the moment. They'll try and come back for this. Oh, Chen gets lassoed up. He will fall almost for sure. There is no comeback for this. Sync, once he respawns, get picked off. One again. 50 seconds. Puck in a lot of trouble. We get hexed up. Oh, jaunted away. Where did he go? Oh, nice play coming in. He threw the illusory up back, and then he just phase shift towards the back line. Oh, but still mid lane. Tiny in a lot of trouble. He gets repelled up. Oh, he take this team fight. Where is the Juggernaut? Juggernaut still in the front lines. They're going for the Ogre Magi. Oh, meanwhile in the back line, they managed to pick up the puck. Alacrity, Mega Q, Big straight in. Omni Slash will be used on the Ogre Magi. And they catch out the Tiny. BKB has been used. There is no lasso. Tiny gets hexed up. He's in trouble. He gets an A on this. He's dropping so low. They're diving to tier 4s. Alacrity might be in some trouble himself. One more right click. He gets a defensive Astral. He does not have a force staff. He does not have a Blink Dagger. Will he manage to escape here? No, he will not. He does fall in the end. So they manage to bring down the Hour Devourer. But Servant Ward has been used. Tier 3 falling very low. Brian still very healthy. Tier 3 dropping very low. Servant Ward doing so much damage. Tiny goes straight towards the back line, but Brian is nowhere inside. Tier 3 has fallen towards the mid lane. They did lose the Hour Devourer, but they did manage to pick off the Tier 3s as well as 2 heroes on their own. So Fire Dragoon looking very comfortable in this game. After coming back from a 5,000 deficit, right now they are leading in nearly more or less equal net worth. Still, DotaHero is not out of this yet. This Tiny is still very front up. He is able to chop down any hero in rapid succession. So we'll have to see how they take these team fights, because right now these team fights have been very fragmented, and fragmented team fights are going to go towards the way of Fire Dragoon. They have so much cash potential, so much single target cancels with the Shadow Shaman, with the Bat Rider as well. So right now, DotaHero, they have to take team fights as 5, because they can't take these one-on-one team fights, because heroes like the Omni Knight, heroes like the Hour Devourer, these heroes excel in one-on-one situations. So they have to choose their fights very carefully, or else they're going to find themselves in a very tough spot. Bottom lane pushed out towards the favor of DotaHero. Mid lane is in equilibrium. Meanwhile, top lane pushed out in the favor of the side of Fire Dragoon as well. So there are still shrines to be picked up on both sides. So that will be the next point of contest for both teams, I guess. As Tiny shows himself in the top lane, clearing through the creep waves with impunity. A few swipes of his huge tree, and they managed to bring down the creep waves very easily. Not knowing where the others are, using the scans, using the vision, everything they have. Send out illusion. They call out another illusion, so Tiny catches out 2 illusions there. Darkness has been popped. DotaHero carrying the Bat Rider lasso onto the Omni Knight. This is perfect. Trying to save the A on this same for the moment. Oh, Dragon nice knockdown, taking a lot of damage. Alacrity does have his sneaky recovery. Here comes the Guardian Angel. Omni Slash onto the Bat Rider. Ogre Magi will fall. So much intelligence stolen. Here comes the huge hammer. Where does it fall? He will fall in a few more seconds. Oh, the disarm onto Hour Devourer. He might be in trouble. He has no BKB. Does he have the stun? He's trying to fight back. Oh, the Hour Devourer brings us the Omni Knight. Tiny dropping very low. Tiny will point in double kill onto Alacrity. He gets a triple. He gets himself triple kill, and he might get himself even more. Zeal onto the front line. He's not. He does have the Lincolns trying to run away. He blinks straight towards the Bat Rider. He better just pulls him out. There is no lasso. He's giving chase. Puck trying to escape there. Will they give Alacrity his ultra? Trying to juke and jive. Zeal onto the front lines. Onto this base. Right back onto the Tiny. Alacrity trying in vain. Trying to lock him down. But Zeal just too elusive. Meanwhile, bottom lane though. Bottom lane. So many range creeps going towards these Raxes. Dropping very low as well. So they might have to TP some heroes back to defend it. Meanwhile, DotaHero trying to stop them from going back. And Zeal, they might be in some trouble. Tiny, there is a lasso. There are the disables. Tiny in trouble. He just got back. Tiny has no buyback. This is almost over for the side of DotaHero. Huge mistake going on. The hex on the puck. Puck will be lassoed down. He will be controlled. He's enough damage to bring down this puck. He's trying to reduce it. Alacrity is there. So much right click. And he trying to escape. The fire is expired. He might manage to blink away the Zeal. He will fall. He had no buyback on the Tiny. There is the buyback on the puck. Meanwhile, bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Shadow Shaman will TP back. to defend this, but right now, without the core Tiny, that is the bulk of the damage for the side of DotaHero. As Fire Dragoon, they feel very confident. They go straight for the Raxes. They come. Oh, the damage coming for Alacrity. So much damage to the Chen. They pop the darkness. One lane of Raxes down, and looks like Fire Dragoon is happy with what they got so far. They forced the buyback from the puck. They got a huge pickoff on the Tiny, and right now they are so far ahead. 30 seconds without the Tiny. This is a huge opening for them to go for Roshan or go push out the top lane or even the bottom lane. So and they have to make use of this 20 seconds timing window where they will be able to do anything at all. Meanwhile, Chen as well as the Ogre Magi gets caught out in the backline. Omnis that straight onto the Chen. Ajit has no mercy. Goes straight for the Chen. Goes straight for the Ogre Magi as well. Double kill. Two of the support heroes down. Will they continue back to Roshan? Tiny has respawned though, that they are still very healthy on the entirety of the side of Fire Dragoon. All the urns, all the healing wards, making so much difference. And right now, Roshan will be brought down really quickly for the side of Fire Dragoon. There is almost no way that DotaHero will be able to contest this without the two supporting cast, which is the Omni Knight, which is the Ogre Magi as well as the Chen. So Aegis will be going the way of Fire Dragoon. There's nothing that DotaHero can do to stop this. Aegis will be picked up there by Alacrity. And with the Aegis nighttime still up for another 3 minutes, they are very ready to start pushing up towards the high ground. Lane, they only lost one melee Raxes, so they might go for more here. Oh, that Rider catches out the Chen once again. We call on to 2 down. Chen dropping very low. They publish right. Use up the Alacrity. Here comes the Tiny needs so much damage. Here comes the all heals coming from Chen. They're fighting back. Sync dropping very low. He will fall. No, the heals coming from the Omnight saving for the the Hour Devourer does fall in the end. Chen still alive. How is Chen still alive? There is still they managed to lock down the Hour Devourer, and Hour Devourer is disabled. Tiny has no buyback. Tiny does fall. 4 heroes down. 4 heroes down. Triple kill for the side of Alacrity. This might be just be it. 4 heroes without buyback. So the Fire Dragoon is very ready. They catch out the puck as well. Is this the game? They have the Omni Knight coming back here. Repel onto Zeal, but what can these 2 heroes do to defend against all 5 heroes on the side of Fire Dragoon? 20,000 in terms of net worth ahead. Fire Dragoon just so far ahead, going straight for the tier 3s in the top lane. No Tiny for 50 seconds. No Chen, no Omni Knight, no Guardian. There is Guardian Angel, but still, right now the Omni Knight was just perfectly controlled on the side of Fire Dragoon, and they just managed to get the team fight very handily in their way. Top lane of Raxes does fall, 2 lane of Raxes down, 1 more tier 3 to fall. But catch up the Omni Knight in some trouble. He gets hexed up, he gets dazzled. Omni Knight straight onto the Omni Knight. He gets Udan sent back. Perfect timing coming from the side of DotaHero, but they still lose the tier 3s. They might lose this lane of Raxes. Alacrity falls the DKB. Sends in front line, blinks towards the backline, goes for the Chen. 1 more Rapid and he does not fall. Barely survives there. Alacrity might be some trouble. He does not have the Aegis. Alacrity. 1 more Raxes standing. They might just commit for this. This means mega creeps. Would it commit? Here comes the Tiny. He gets repelled up. They bring down Yang. 1 Rapid will be able to shoot a deal. Here comes Dragoon dealing so much damage. Oh, Ogre Magi does more in the end. The Hour Devourer gets disarmed up. Hex onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight gets tossed back into safety by his teammate Tiny. There is Guardian Angel. The banish once again. Alacrity. Man fighting front lines. Alacrity dropping low. Wants the cheese. He fights back. There's the Guardian Angel. He needs to use it. He used it already. So he managed to become one of the cause. Nice Soccer is trying to escape here. Brian trying to run away. Gets tossed back and he will fall for sure. This is a full in of Raxes. Oh my god, DotaHero, they know this is it. Brian, oh, they know this is it. DotaHero knows that this game is pretty much over. They lost all 3 lanes of Raxes right now, and they are facing up against mega creeps with Fire Dragoon just being so far ahead.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Is there any way of comeback for the side of DotaHero? Right now they are so far behind and with the map control. They need to win 1 team fight force buybacks and then start pushing towers and then get another team wipe. So they need 2 team wipes in a row and they need to go straight for the T4s. So game is not completely over yet for the side of DotaHero, but right now things are not looking great for them. They need a miracle. They need some sort of miracle to be able to try and defend against Mega Creeps, to try and get themselves into the third game of this WESG Malaysia Finals. Tiny, he's already queued up the Hail Mary play on his shortcuts. We did see him with the Hail Mary play in the previous game as well, so he's no stranger. Oh, Puck might be some trouble. He does have to blink, and he will manage to get the goal. Right now, the only opening for DotaHero right now is they need to win 2 team fights in a row and then start pushing to tier 4s, because without those team fights, they will not manage to win this game. This game is pretty much over for them if they do not take the next team fight very convincingly. Aeon Disc has been really great on this Omni Knight, but it is not enough. He's just being controlled, being silenced, being imprisoned, being hexed, being shackled. So much disables being thrown on this Omni Knight. Fire Dragoon is playing this game to perfection. 8-second shackle duration. They went for that talent to be able to lock down this Omni Knight as long as possible. So
Double damage.
right now, Fire Dragoon, are they waiting for any sort of items? I don't think so.
Dire's bottom shrine
Tiny
is
does
under
not go
attack.
for the Hail Mary, then he goes for the Moon Shard to be able to do more damage to fights right away. Wow, bottom range.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
This might be the impossible defense on the side of DotaHero. They
Dire's
have
bottom
the
shrine
Acceptor
has
on Yang
fallen.
as well. So even if they wipe everyone, they still have to deal with these mass Symbol Wards, which is going to be just so annoying to deal with once he pops it down beside Ancient. One last fight, one last engagement, one last chance for the side of DotaHero. Will they manage to bring this down, or will Fire Dragoon move on to the finals of this WESG Malaysia qualifiers? We'll have to wait and see. The team's poised, trying the best to hold on right now. Mega Creeps is not easy to defend, especially if you have heroes like the Chen and the Ogre Magi, who just does no creep damage. Here comes Bear Rider with the Acceptor, picks up the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi does fall, Puck gets sent back. Here comes the Omni Slash, being tagged there by the Creep. But Ajit caught out in the backline, he's taking so much damage. Here comes the Guardian Angel, stopping Omni Slash, does fall in the end. Here comes the Hex onto the Puck, Puck will fall. Tiny dropping very low, Tiny almost certainly will fall, so gets sent back. At what cost? The Serpent Wards are perfect. Sing gets caught out, and it will be DotaHero going home. Fire Dragoon will be in the finals, and Fire Dragoon will be going to China as one of the representatives of the WESG Malaysian qualifiers. Very close game on both sides, but Fire Dragoon inching their way forward, and they will find themselves in the finals, facing up against the winner of 818 against New Beginning in the bottom side of the bracket. So Fire Dragoon themselves secure a second place finish, at least in the WESG Malaysia qualifiers. While we'll take a short break before we come back with New Beginning going up against A1 Esports in the other side of the brackets. The winner of that match as well goes to China, and we'll see who takes the grand champion after all. We'll take a short break before we come back with the next game. Until then, we'll be back.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first grand finalist for WESG Dota2 Malaysia qualifier is Steve Fire Dragoon! Woo! Applause! Alright, so we have a little post-match interview here with one of our Fire Dragon players. Right. Alright, Ajit again, alright. So, Ajit, first of all, congratulations to you and also your team for winning the grand final slot, and also yourself flight tickets to APAC regional finals. So Do you have any things to say? What's your feeling now?
I would say we are really happy because it's our first time in Fire Dragoon that we are going overseas for tournament.
Alright, so it's a very good start for you and your teammates, right? Alright, so a little bit comment about the second game. You all have a very big, huge disadvantage on the early game. So how do you guys adjust and come back from the very big advantage early games?
I would say like in early we have a lot of mistakes, but after that we just calm down. Like everyone just play safe.
Alright. So anyways, congratulations to Ajit and also your teammates. Fire Dragon, you all will be advanced to the grand final and also qualified to APAC regional final for WESG. So everybody, please stay tuned, and we'll have our second semi-final between 818 Esports and New Beginning. So stay tuned, guys.
invincible.